And don't forget to press my is the mics and everything's up. And don't forget to press my button.
Yeah.
I'm just a messenger, bro. Because
I'm is the spliff visible in my hand?
Oh yeah, one more thing. One more thing before we start. You need to. I don't know. Maybe YouTube will send you an email or something, but you need to clear the track so I can use it.
Okay, cool.
Because I tried to upload it on one of my videos and I can't monetize because they say this is copyright and I need to get
permission. Yeah. I'll send you an email.
Because I think the other social medias is kind of alright.
Yeah.
So obviously I want to use the soundbite.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that.
I ain't seen no email from it though.
And 2 Tuesday just cut the live and.
Yeah. I can send you an email saying you got permission to use it if you need it, because I ain't seen no email from them.
Just checking it, because they do something. We click some box and then they have to ask you for permission or some shit.
All right,
or even if you send me the email or whatever, man, just
man.
Because I want to make sure. Innit?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, Red.
Okay. About 30 seconds for buffering. And you can go.
30 seconds, yeah.
We can go?
Yeah.
But yeah, where we going?
Don't worry, that rocket ship
Yeah, bring that microphone
Take
close
off,
to you.
rocket.
Yo.
3,
Yes, people.
2.
Come, let's go. Yes, people, silent business. You know what time it is.
I'm just a messenger.
Don't shoot. Back again for another episode. I'm in here today with some clued up gentlemen. You know what I mean? Different races, different culture, nations, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to get my guests to introduce themselves. And after they introduce themselves, I'm going to read a short little 10 seconds intro. I'm going to read one of the prompts and the guys are going to answer. Let's go. To my left.
My name's Barry Knight. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer from South London.
Yo, I'm Femi Santiago. I'm a singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, engineer, mix and mastering. Hit me up if you need any of that. And yeah, conversationalist. Jeez.
Where did they hit you up?
Hit me up on Femi Santiago on any platform, across the board, all the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I should have dropped that.
It's Big Spartan. Big Spartan with a beard like James Harden. Artist, influencer, boxer, athlete, whatever. Hit me up on all the platforms. Big Spartan on everything. Google me.
Yo, yeah, JJ. Just a regular brother trying to do some amazing things. Yeah. I sell books. I sell Black history books, Black culture books. Yeah, and we're building. So yeah, I'll let you know where you can hit me up from in the future.
All right.
Yeah, big up to the platform. Big up to the people, them brothers, them in the room. Yeah, man. I'm Real Pain, artist from East London.
Jeez.
Just like JJ and the rest of the brothers in the room. Just trying to do better for the community, share our opinion, and spread knowledge.
All right, gentlemen. And I'm going to pass back over here to Dream because I think he forgot to, give his social media.
I'm easy to find. You can find me at Barry Knight 247 on all platforms. I'm easy to find.
All right, people. Hope you got that. Hope you're locked in. And yeah, do give these guys, a shout out. Check out their platform, see what's going on. I'm going to read this quick intro, then I'm going to ask the first questions. All right, cool. Let's go. When it comes to relationships, people often find themselves asking why things don't work out as they hoped. Is it a lack of communication, differing values, or simple growing apart? Understanding the reasons can be crucial for personal growth and improvement in future connections. What do you think are the main factors leading to relationship struggles? So my first question is, gentlemen, why are relationships not working this day and age? And if anybody
I like to jump into this first still. Mainly because my mind has been occupied heavily on this subject for the past 4 years or even more than that. I was married for around 10 years, got divorced about 4 years ago, and yeah, you contemplate obviously what went wrong. You know, like, what did I do wrong? What did you do wrong? You know, like, what did we do wrong, etc. And I think the conclusion I've kind of come to about it, I mean, there's a lot of factors at play. Everybody lives different lives, you know what I'm saying? Different things happen in particular. And a lot of the time it's our attachment to the things that happen that cause a lot of things to happen and, you know, to break away from or whatever. But I feel like when in my personal experience, it really happened like that because we grew apart. Like a lot of it was to do with this growing apart. And not just that, but not really in real time paying attention to us falling apart should I say growing apart. But I think in hindsight, if we actually acknowledged the fact that we were, and instead of trying to act like we weren't, then we wouldn't have lost trust for each other. We wouldn't have been looking elsewhere, do you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like feeling unhappy in ourselves, not communicating it, and then allowing outward influences to kind of come in and creep in to be a part of it, which will always mess it up. And this is what I think happens in a lot of relationships that are long term in particular. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. So, like, but I think what I'm telling myself on top of it is it's a big part of personal growth, like you mentioned as well, in the sense that, you see, where we are, myself and my baby mum now, like, I feel like we've got a much better relationship than we could ever have had, like, if we did stay with each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, our kids are fucking happy as hell, like, which is a blessing I give thanks for. And, you know, it's hard for her to navigate as much as it is for me. Do you know what I mean? But we seem to be doing all right. Do you know what I'm saying, so far? So, yeah, that's my opinion. But what would you guys think?
Boy, I'm gonna really kind of approach this from a different angle.
Yeah, of course.
Because what I think is the issue right now, and when we talk about relationships, I see that as just a kind of term that we're using to apply to a set of behaviors, in a sense. And I think that's really what is the issue. What it is union, and people staying together and bonding and going through the journey in union. And I think we've kind of lost what that union is and what that even means, and all the components of it, because we've created a new form of union which we've described as relationships. And this relationship form that we're doing isn't really what union and bonding would have been previously, or biologically, or to what we are within our human behaviors. But we're trying to make this thing work because of the society we've created that needs us to be together and function in this way. But I think the whole model potentially may be flawed in terms of what we're using as relationships and what we're trying to bond with and use as the bonds. We're using not tangible bonds, but logical bonds, which are never going to be as strong.
That's deep points. Just interject, yeah. I fully agree with what both of you, man. I was thinking it, so I'm hearing you say it. It's like it's like a reflection. It's mad, because there's two parts of it. I literally, you know, you saying you put down your book. I was literally reading page 167 of this, and they were talking about in the ancient times in Africa when cultures were put together. At 12 years old, the males and the females would kind of be split, and they'd be taught different skills for society. Where small girls would be taught by elder women, taken away, taught how to keep a clean home, taught not just the mathematics, but how to be a good wife, how to be a everlasting, attractive wife to your husband, taught how to be, you know, all of them things. And the man have to learn what he has to do. And they also learn skills in society where he would learn how to cut down all of the bush and all of them things, and she would learn how to come behind him and put down the crops so that they can work together and plant crops for the field and that. He would work in iron work and she would do mathematics extra so she could sell the things that he was making. So that, for me, that's the kind of union that I was hearing you saying, talking about when we're actually trained from a young age to understand what our responsibility is to each other.
And there's a name for that.
Yeah.
There's a name for that. When it comes to me, I'll let you know.
Okay, so there's that. But then there's number two now. We were parallel. We meet each other, we love each other, and we're in a great place. And it's our responsibility to change. Because if you stay in the same place, water that don't run, that sits down, is stale, isn't it? So if we stay in it stagnant, you know, it stinks. Yeah. So if we have to keep moving, we have to keep growing, we have to keep developing. But the only way that we're gonna stay together, even if we move, is if that we keep in consistent communication with each other and we stay on the same path, that we don't fall out like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I've experienced it, you've experienced it, and I heard this exactly what you're saying. It's not even like sometimes that you fall out of a space or whatever. It's just that space gets put in between you when I'm starting to think like this now, and you don't understand why I'm thinking like this, because you're going straight. I'm not going in the wrong way. I'm just thinking like this. And you, on the other hand, you're thinking like that. Nah, on top of that, if I'm influenced by the TV, you're influenced by the TV, and we're both trying to fulfill ideas of what we think the other person wants without really communicating it to each other, then we start missing out as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's both of them things that you're saying, I think, are key at this moment for why we can't stay in these kind of unions and keep them as a foundation. It's something that I'm reviewing regularly and trying to cleanse myself of also, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not here talking like man's had some 50-year marriage and boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm not perfect, bro, but I'm reviewing it. I'm in that place. So that's why it resonated with me what you man said.
The word is synergy.
Okay.
Synergistic, when two things are different but work in complete unison all the time. Synchronized energy.
So
Can I just add something?
Go on.
Because just from what Myra was saying,
yeah.
like something you were mentioning about, especially at that crucial age, 12. Yeah, my son is currently, he's going to be 12 soon, and he's just gone to secondary school, and I'm just going to say this because it links back to what we're even talking about, because I didn't even think about this as a reason for why people are struggling in relationships right now in this particular way. But I think it's really, you just kind of open my mind to something. So for the longest time, I was sure, because of the fact that I went to a mixed school, I was sure when my son goes to school, he's going to a mixed school. Because there were a lot of benefits, a lot of bonuses from growing around, you know, girls your age, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. But he's gone to a boys' school right now. And at first I was thinking to myself, oh, am I happy about this? And after just like a week of talking to him and talking to other people and really kind of I've tried to keep an open mind, you know what I'm saying? But trying to open my mind to, this is probably a good idea, do you know what I'm saying? This is going to go well for him. I'm seeing those benefits, and what I'm seeing now is actually it's so important in a way to have this segregation in a way, do you know what I'm saying, between boys and girls at that age in school. In terms of focus in particular, distraction, man. I don't know if you remember, you know. And biologically we're naturally distracted, do you know what I'm saying, at that age, yeah. So they're playing tricks on kids basically, yeah. But my point is this, is it leads back to what we were talking about, because the issue that I'm seeing now is like in relationships, when I look at the time frame of my particular relationship when it was breaking down, it coincides directly with this wokeism around gender and the way that's blurring those lines. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And interestingly, I started seeing my partner change in certain ways based on just the information that we're plowed with. Do you know what I'm saying? In media, regardless of whether you watch the news or not, you're watching Facebook. Facebook is like the news now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be careful what you're feeding your brain, because if you do that over a long period of time, that's going to control your thought process, isn't it? So the point is like, I noticed there were a lot of problems in our relationship based on this whole change of wokeism and talking about, you know, like the feminist movements and you know, like, and how misplaced some of them are becoming. You know, like like what we were saying earlier before we even started this, we start with one ideology and it always ends up being corrupted in the end.
Bro, can I just say,
Do you know
can
what
I
I'm
say
saying?
something? I was thinking it, I didn't want to talk about it, but now you've mentioned it. This term woke, yeah. No, big man thing, yeah. This term woke, yeah. Hey, brother. Nah, let me tell you what. If you really think about it, yeah. The term woke, yeah, is Ebonics. It's really how Black Americans talk. Our cousins over in America, yeah. And, you understand? So okay. So yeah. So we look at woke, yeah, and it really stems from a concept of being conscious, from the concept of not being asleep, just being in autopilot in your life, being awake to what's going on around you and what and obviously that started with us knowing our history, knowing our culture, knowing what's going on, and really being politically responsible and responsive to what's going on around us. Maybe I can put it in synergy with negritude, if you want to Google that. So now,
thank you very much.
But that term has been coincided, yeah, because I had a conversation with two young women. And they were saying, we were talking about being a revolutionary. And they said, you're not a revolutionary if you're not fighting for trans rights. Yeah. So, everyone's got their path and everyone's doing what they're doing on YouTube. And and if that's what you're passionate about, fighting for is what it is. But you can't come and tell me that I'm not on what I'm on. I'm not on smoke because I don't follow the same path as you, or I don't prioritize what you know what I'm saying. It's difficult, but everyone's, one person's fighting feminism, one person's fighting transgender rights, one person's fighting for black rights, some people fighting for global majority. Everyone's got their own little ism and schism. That's even part of it as well. How everyone's split up and boom,
divide and conquer.
Which is you see what I'm saying? So now we've got all these ideas that permeate into the home. They didn't come from within the home, going out into the world. The world is now infiltrating your house. Sometimes I walk past my family watching TV and I'm mortified. Yeah. What the? Yeah. And I'm like, what's this? Yeah, this was on the telly. What are you watching? Like? I ain't seen telly in so long. Yeah. The things that are happening on TV now that weren't happening 10 years ago.
Exactly.
See when you watch brain rot
between man and woman.
Bruv, watch when you watch what kids are watching with the brain rot thing.
Yeah, it's mad.
Mad, fam.
So these people are cultivating our expectations for relationships.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about that actually, because it ties into what he's saying. Where what I was saying before, relationships are like a construct, innit? And this is what we've gotten into. Same with wokeism, with what you were saying. We've kind of created these constructs and ideas behind it, and it's the same way we're trying to live this construct of a relationship that we've got now. And the problem is, what I find with the constructs that we have now is that there's no reason for them. Like, so even a relationship, for instance, now when you in society, there's no reason to be in a relationship. Most relationships are just there for pleasure, entertainment, and support. But other than that, it's not necessary. Like, this is why people can decide, I don't really need to be in a relationship at all, because there's no necessity for it to life. So when something is just something you can do for leisure or pleasure, this is why it doesn't link itself back to a purpose. And this is why relationships themselves and union don't have a place, because they're not essential to our living right now.
There's no value to it.
It's an amazing point still.
Yeah, that is the basic. Thank you.
We don't have, you see, like marriages, basic marriages, man, woman, nuclear family, whatever. We had a necessity for them back in the day. A man really had to protect a woman.
That's brother. About the history before.
Yeah, we don't have that purpose anymore.
But a woman really had to support her man so you can go out and war for the family.
Yeah, they don't have that purpose anymore, or they've lost it.
Even the youths, if you trying to tell like when the puberty happens, if society actually showed a reason and the kids actually saw there's a reason to be in a relationship or reason to not be in one, then the journey of why you're even attracted to this girl and what the purpose of that for in your life journey should be set out a little bit more. But currently it's just because, well, she looks good, pleasure, and that's it. Because other than that, there's nothing that to tie it into the need for it in life.
It's a mindless action. It's like, I like this girl, so what's the normal thing to do? Date, relationship. Gotta do this. Whatever I seen on the movies. It's not even whatever my parents did anymore. It's whatever I see.
We don't
other
stand
people
on
do.
our
The construction
It's whatever media kind of
that's
tells
what
you.
we've done wrong.
So you're right. Social media and all these other things on
You
TV
can go
are
on.
literally creating a construct that we're entering into consensually without actually knowing.
Yeah.
It's mad.
No, I'm just gonna say that literally.
No, you're good.
It goes back to reality as well now, because I feel like a lot of people at the moment are mentally ill. That's my observation of my reality. A lot of people at the moment are mentally ill, and that's now supporting people's relationships with one another. So if we're all mentally ill, our perception of our relationships are now they're skewed up. They're messed up. Do you know what I'm saying? They're back to front. And that's my observation of reality at the moment. People's realities are they're delusional now, innit? Do you know what I mean? Everything's back to front.
Very much.
What's right is wrong and what's wrong is right. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's another support for the crap that's going on.
And touching up on what you just said, right, leads me to what? One of the reasons I bring up this topic, right? And my personal opinion, and obviously you guys can rebuttal this. Jay, she's looking at me face like a warrior right now.
Everybody deserves an opinion, fam. Do you know what I'm saying?
I genuinely believe is facts over feelings, and people are going into relationships based on feelings instead of a business, which it should be. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Right? Be void of emotions, like that would be crazy. But I'm saying, when you're going into a relationship, I basically think like it's a business venture. You understand? It's an investment. You're investing in that person, that person's investing in you. You understand where I'm coming from, right? So if you ain't worked out the tangibles, then why are you embarking on some business decision based off feelings? You understand where I'm coming from, right? And we can tell most of the time, as we can see in society right now, relationship are finished based on feelings, and now them feelings in turn causes a reaction. For instance, if they have kids, for that kids now to be weaponized based off feelings instead of a business where it's like, okay, our business didn't work out, we can still have some interaction and make it, keep it. You understand where I'm coming from?
So what you're saying, basically it's gambling, fam. If I enter into
Most
a
definitely.
business venture with my feelings, I'm gambling.
But what facts?
But we're forgetting one factor here, yeah, because I agree with what you're saying. But the problem is when it comes to feelings and emotions, let's say emotional intelligence, yeah, is the right
It don't
term.
exist.
Yeah,
The
point of what I was going to basically say is everybody, like whatever you believe in, but like we all have in our lifespan an evolutionary period where we change constantly and we evolve within ourselves. Do you know what I'm saying? And like that has a big play on how you end up perceiving a lot of the shit that's happening around you and how you judge like something you're talking about, a business proposition or opportunity or a relationship opportunity, etc. Like, and as you evolve, do you know what I'm saying, in that your understanding of self, you in a way you need this kind of shit to happen in order to actually go to the next level of your own evolution. What I'm trying to say is like breaking up in a relationship is a bit of a necessity in a way. Do you know what I'm saying? Because guess in life, if you become too comfortable in one position, man, like you're not gonna carry on moving, are you? Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of the time.
Then, do you wanna know
I don't know. It's another side of it. I'm just saying.
Something. I know. Say for example, if I had a good mentor growing up as a young man, a teenager, whatever, my decisions would have been different regarding relationships. That mentor would have shown me what he done wrong, what not to do, and I would have made some right decisions.
Yeah.
So
Based on you listening to every single thing, which when most young people don't really listen, like
well, this is what I'm saying.
they need to experience
that relationship, like you said, the construct that we have between the elders and the youngers, is changed.
It's failed.
Yeah, it's changed.
It's
and
been destroyed.
Do you know one thing I was going to say?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
you were saying that everything's been kind of what's right and wrong, and reality's changed, and this is what I think the big issue is. Yeah, and even what Silent was saying about us living in our feelings. Yeah, I think that has skewed our perception of reality
100%.
completely. And one element that I think has skewed our reality, which is I think if you notice, business, all of the whole thing of relationships breaking down has coincided with the boom of business, with the boom of institution and commercialism. So the way that things have become disposable in commerce, relationships have followed, because all of this is very linked to money and very linked to materialism.
You talk about trends and the way things just kind of slide through and just go quick. And then,
well, the only reason why relationships and the construct we've had it now is because of the sexual revolution, and all of that was economically driven. It wasn't just happened because people felt good. It was economically driven, and that's why when women came into the workforce, economics exploded, because you had two people. So it was incentivized, all of this, for economic reasons.
It's Freud's nephew, isn't it, that did that?
Yeah, so all of this is intrinsically linked to economics and business and how that's flowed, and that's changed the reality of relationships. So with the first thing with business is that, and same with gambling, is that you have to keep trying again. And this is the idea that we've got in a relationship. Even the construct of relationship makes you think that you can keep trying again. And that is an idea. You only get one life. Why do we think that we can do everything over and over again? If you fail, failure is failure. So, and everything that happens links on. So imagine a baby don't walk at a certain time. It affects it all the way
What's
through.
the definition of madness?
Doing the same thing over and over again.
expecting
but
a
ain't-
different result.
But ain't failure like an opportunity to learn?
Everything's an opportunity to learn.
Not death isn't. Death isn't.
No,
Death
except
isn't.
No, death is not. That's when you at the game.
So reality, the only thing that can work in that way is constructs. If you deal with things biologically, tangibly, you only get one shot, because everything you do has a physical, tangible impact. So it's the same with relationships. So we are desensitized. This is why relationships go on in that way. And the part of it is because we've detached it from the reality of our actual connections and union.
As a
really
physical, biological entity, so we allow it to die.
It's physical.
We don't care if it dies. We'll get
We're not nurturing it. We're not
Exactly.
watering it.
No,
So
no.
it's-
Do you know what it is? And I'll just cut to the chase. Really, it's a one shot. Most things are really a one shot. Like, so for instance, it's same with virginity and all these things. You're meant to bond and link biologically in a one shot. Every time you do it again, you desensitize, and all the chemicals related to it change. And this is why
Oxytocin.
we've gone into the ability to continue this in the way it has done, and it never has the same effect. Really, it's meant to be a one shot. You glue it once, and the things that you have link you together and bond you biologically. The construct bonds were just put on because we don't have a purpose, really. And then once you create that construct, you can do anything. But biologically, really, you get one shot at everything. Really, it's because we can't accept that once you fail once, you can't achieve the same thing again. Really, and that's all of us living in our feelings, because you can't really. It's like chasing a dragon. This is literally what people are doing.
It's like smoking your first zoot and
Chasing a dragon.
the very first one in your whole life.
Yeah.
You never get that feeling ever again.
You wanna know? Hey, you wanna know something though?
Yo,
I have got that feeling again.
what about letting it go for a while?
Only after abstain. listen, bro. Listen. No, I'll be real. I'll keep it 100, innit?
Yeah, you're right.
Bro,
no.
it was never the same as the first time, innit? But you see, when man abstained for a while, that one time brought me back to my first time again. It was almost the same.
Almost.
It was almost the same. Only because I had experienced it before anyway. So even if I experienced the exact same thing, it would never be new again.
Exactly.
You see what I'm
Biology
saying?
doesn't recognize almost, innit?
I know.
You can't almost
But,
die, you know?
but what I'm saying is, but what I'm trying to add on is, now I understand why abstinence is key. When you come out of a relationship, more time abstinence is key.
It's
bruv.
true, you know.
But does it always
Real
happen?
talk.
Really,
No,
they
does
should
it always happen?
I've been out of a relationship for like 4
The
years.
thing is,
4
does
years
that
now,
always
man.
happen? And
It never
can
happens.
people do it? Because
It
a lot
never
of
happens.
people need to be around people. There's a lot of people that can't stand being alone.
Exactly. They
You know
need.
what I'm trying to
They
say?
need
Part of their
to.
journey
They need
that
to.
they need to learn
They need
to
to
be alone.
abstain. Learn to be alone because I'll be real. If
You
you
grow
can't be
so much
alone,
strength by
you don't
doing
like
that.
yourself. Don't expect anyone else to like you.
You know what? That's 100% true. Because a lot of people suffer with self-esteem. They suffer with self-image. They suffer with anxiety. They suffer with a lot of other
don't
things.
touch that one.
This goes into it. If you want to keep reverting and going back into these loopholes, that's what this stuff is. And in reality, you have to be with oneself and yourself. And you know what I'm saying? If like when you're talking about this one shot wonder thing, know instinctively who you're around. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's kind of crazy because in the mindset that we're in, because it's like we're in a postmodernist mindset, which means you create yourself, you define yourself.
Yeah.
So there isn't any intrinsic knowledge of what you're
Yeah,
making.
yeah,
That's why
yeah.
there's no purpose. And if you've got no purpose and really all your purpose
Yeah.
is just making money, you don't. Defining yourself to make money could be anything, and this is why we're lost.
Could
Do
be
you know
a
what I mean?
grand, £1 million, £1 billion.
Let me touch.
Go on, me say.
But what do you mean
No, let me spin right.
what do you mean by having no purpose? Because people would give you advice and say, listen, you need to find your purpose in life and know what you're doing. So that could be a broad spectrum.
Can I touch
What
that in
the-
there?
Previously, when you was a smith, your dad, the smiths were blacksmiths. Your dad was a smith. He'd teach you his trade. Do you know what I mean? You would literally follow a family business. A lot of things like that. That's how society kind of grew until we got to this institutionalized way where you just work now to make money for your family. It's not necessarily related to your family or your purpose or where you're from. You go to work for just the interests of someone else to make them richer, and this is why we've got the kind of society we've got now.
Jesus. Yeah,
Go to you, my brother.
Nah, you bust it, fam. I was about to add in on top of that and say, even if you look like 200 years ago, school was a myth. It didn't exist, bruv. Yeah, school didn't exist. School is a product of the Industrial Revolution. Yeah. Before that, like you said, if you was a smith, you was a smith, bruv. If you was a black, you was a black. If you was this, you was this. If you was a Moor, you was a Moor. That's what it was.
Schools construct.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It fits you into the construct that
Yeah.
we've got now.
Yeah.
So previously, where your parents would have taught you that, and this is a conflict a lot of people are having now, where your ideas as a parent is different from the construct that you're sending your kids in to learn, and they're telling them a whole different thing that's right and how the world works.
And also, on top of that,
I'm gonna add something.
People as well.
religious buildings as well.
That's it.
You had your churches, your synagogues, and your mosques. When you're the age of 13, really you're graduating from these places and becoming a man or a young woman. We don't have that anymore. We've destroyed a lot of constructs
Rites
that
of passage.
upheld and created society.
There's no rites of
That's
passage. Yeah.
transformed. No, but schools themselves come from
Actually, they do have rites of
the
passage.
the blueprint
They
of
do have rites of passage.
yeah.
But it's not mainstream
But school,
anymore.
what I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah,
though,
it's
school,
mainstream.
schools
Where?
have come from like
Where?
the
I'll show you
the
after,
church.
you see.
Yeah, but because the school I went to in East London, because I'm from yeah, that's local. Still
Forest.
popular. Yeah, man. But what I was gonna say, like, I went to school in Bethnal Green. The school I went to is not open anymore. They closed it down. But it was 300 odd years old. Yeah, this school. But up to a certain point, it wasn't school like today. It was where you send your kids to learn religion, to become a monk or a nun. Basically, that's what all schools were. Do you know what I'm saying? Or in every religion, every country, it was about learning the religion, isn't it? Now they took over.
And then you're learning the government, and you're getting programmed for the government. my
Exactly.
brother.
Transformed.
The religion was
Mad.
teaching science and maths before,
I
you
know.
know. It was teaching geology and geometry. Yeah, all of it.
You see? Let me show you. Let me show
Mad
you.
thing.
That there's still a rite of passage, but let me show you how it's changed. Right? It's shit.
Get drunk and that, yeah. Go. How much? How much?
Brother. It's even before that. It's
Wicked now,
even
dog.
before that.
mate.
Your rite of passage starts at home, then it transitions into secondary school. You understand? It starts with, for instance, the mom teaching the young girl madness. not knowing how, not teaching them really how to be respectful, how to carry themselves, and even from a young age, dolling up the little baby girls with makeup and all type of madness, right? And then, for instance, the boys, for instance, they will get like some type of mental abuse. You understand? They wouldn't learn how to control one's emotion. You understand where I'm coming from? And let me show you how that works now. Then you go to school. You understand where I'm coming from? Especially secondary school. It's kind of like a rite of passage to be a hoe. You understand where I'm coming? And it's kind of like a rite of passage to be a rude boy, a bad boy. You understand where I'm coming from? So these are the rite of passage that people are not really seeing.
So
you get me? Because
corrupted.
what it is now, if you're a girl and it's like, oh, you're a virgin, you get shamed out of being a virgin, like. You get me? And if you're a good boy, a nerd trying to do your thing, you get shamed out of being a nerd trying to be like, this is what I'm concentrating on. You understand where I'm coming from? And if you ain't got a strong parental background behind you, you'll fall to easy.
So basically, the devil's taken over the world. He's transformed all the religious teachings into sexual teachings. He's trying to push sex on younger kids. This is mad.
Well, it's like what you're saying, rite of passage now, and it's funny that you're saying, because for me, when I think of rite of passage, I think of like when you have to do a trial as a man to go and hunt something down or something, you know what I mean? And if you don't pass it, then you're not called a man afterwards.
But these days,
you can fail rite of passage.
These days,
where if you fail,
you can beat the gal.
You
can risk this gal, as the man was saying.
And that's the right. But also, the other thing I was going to say,
when we were growing up as well.
Yeah, but the other thing I was going to say, if you notice, everything's different. So your rite of passage to be able to drink alcohol is different from your sexual age, from your voting age. They've decided what age you become a man in different places, which is crazy. This is because there is no real proving of a man now or a woman. Really, there should be some qualification or something that if you don't get or reach a certain point or show certain attributes, you shouldn't be considered a man or a woman. You should be still in adolescence. Do you know what I mean? And until you've done this thing and actually done it, you stay. It's just like when you see big man and they can't leave school. Do you know what I mean? That's in America and in certain places. Even France, England, where like you come back a year and until you pass, you could be in school as a big man. And it's the same thing. You shouldn't be called a man until you've achieved certain things, and we've got no qualifications or parameters.
Being as well, right?
Brother.
Right?
It's like big man in the school still.
This is it, bro. I remember growing up.
I had big man in my school as well.
You're going to school and you're thinking, raw, like, how does this make sense? I'm 5. Why is this person 10 and he's in my class? And then you find out because they ain't do the work that was required of them, they had to stay back.
And 5 years.
Do you understand? Like, are you thinking?
The brother stayed back 5
or they lied on their passport.
Now I'm older, I fully understand. Like, that was a rite of passage, and I didn't really know it because I was young growing up. But I understood it. Like, if you didn't acquire certain things, then you're not going to move forward. You're not going to get far in life, type thing, unless you get handouts.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, I've experienced the same thing in France, man.
Yeah,
When I went in France, they have that system. So when I studied, when I went back to France when I was 15, 16. And I was used to British system. Do you know what I'm saying? With kids just the same age as you for my whole life. It's been like that. And then I go to France and at 16, I'm seeing like 23-year-old, 25-year-old, like bare different ages. Like, and I thought the guy was the teacher. Do you know what I'm saying? Some teachers are that age. Do you know what I'm saying? But no, they were in my class. They had to literally do that year again for so many years, and they don't give a shit. Like, they're just like because they're using the system though, because like while you're in school there, you get support and stuff from government and etc. in it, because you're recognized still as a student. So obviously they're just playing the system, man.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, but anyway.
The question that was asked: why are relationships failing? Each person got like say 30 seconds to a minute to maybe summarize, give a solution of what maybe can be done better, what people can. You understand where I'm coming from? And then we'll move on to the next question.
Boy, I think we need to look at this construct that we've built called relationships and really rethink the whole thing. Try and link it back to reality and biology and and start there. Hopefully we can try and build stuff once we're seeing what's actually going on with some clarity.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Still, I think we need to like we need to really start taking more control over like social media content in particular that we're, you know, unfortunately adults are already kind of like done with. I would say in a way, but children are the next in line. Like we can still change something for them. That's the point. And I feel like governments need to do a lot more. The companies themselves need to do a lot, but things only happen if we, the users, collectively ask for it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what needs to happen still more so.
I want the camera on, yeah. Hey, listen, y'all are moving too slack. Fix up. Yeah, OnlyFans girls, listen, fix up. Man, them not doing them. Listen, fix up, bruv. Be a man. Yeah, yeah. All of this nonsense, bruv. Listen, fix up, bruv. Otherwise, in 100, 200 years, we're all done for, fam. Fix up, bruv.
Yeah, man. I think we need to do some more research on oneself. A bit more patience, a bit more spiritual cleansing, healing, and come at life from that sort of perspective, because we will take things a lot more seriously. The words that come out of our mouth will be a lot more careful coming, you know. And yeah, solutions wise, we just have to be honest with ourselves, I think.
The brother said, fix up, bruv. Take your life serious and fix up, fam.
Just to be honest with ourselves.
What I think was going to happen, yeah, and this I think will be the ultimate thing, because like sex and all of that and creation, so having babies has lost control in it. And I think that's really there needs to be, before you have a baby, there needs to be a qualification, or there should be some kind of prerequisite, because anyone can have a baby. A 12-year-old, as soon as you can have a baby, you can have a baby. Yeah. That shouldn't be allowed.
Can I share something with you, my brothers?
Go to you.
Can I share something with you, serious? You man ever seen Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when? Yeah. See, my man was all chilling, riding his horse, peaceful on the plains, peaceful. Then all of a sudden, some big demon, RQ, and rips a wormhole, dashes him out. Man comes out through the other side. What does he see? Transgender, trans species, bare sex on the road, transhumanism, bare girls in cages with horns, bruv, dancing for money and that. What do you man see, bruv?
Yeah, fuck it, bruv.
I see that. I saw that on the Olympics opening show, fam. Yeah? No.
I can't lie, yeah.
Claim your people. Your people, blood.
Because this one, I grew up in France, yeah. I'm telling you something, yeah. I couldn't believe that in Paris, yeah, they even, like, I know the type of country France is, yeah.
The guy was blue.
Bro.
He was greased up. He was blue. He looked like a Smurf.
Bro.
He was dancing in front of a youth, fam.
Bro.
What?
Bro, this is what
Brother,
I'm trying
you
to
ain't seen
say.
it?
I can't believe
properly, I see
yeah,
a
because
little-
back when I grew up in France, yeah, France
trying to
was
watch them
one
too,
of
man.
France is very similar. It used to be very. I guess they all changed in the same way, but like France is like the rest of Europe. Yeah, they're all similar in culture. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the French are still quite unique in that whole mix-up, and that's why they got a lot of power in Europe. Do you know what I'm saying? Like next to Germany and whatnot. But like, but hear what I'm saying? I can't believe France is still a very patriotic and also very, very, they hold closely their religion, like big time in France.
Not for the Olympics,
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. I was so fucking shocked seeing that happen in France, because it's like, yo, that ain't the country I know.
And I'll tell you why you're shocked. And I'll tell you why you're shocked.
Whoa.
Right? Because you still probably have that mindset that feelings matter that much. And it's because of people's feelings why we're at this position now, where you think a country that was supposed to stand for something, now the people govern, like, listen, because of our feelings, fire for your facts. Yeah, if we don't feel a certain way, then what are you doing as a government? You're not. You understand where I'm coming from? You get me? So this is where we're at right now. Feelings are what's governing things.
Now, the only thing
It's not logic anymore. It's feelings. Like,
the thing I'd say to that, and this is the thing that's the same thing here, it's a bit of a facade and it's not necessarily real. Just like you saw with the riots in England, where that's only the people that govern the country and make the rules and allow that to happen is a small set of people. And unfortunately, a small set of people now are making a lot of the noise, and you're seeing a big discord between the people and the people in power, where a lot of what's being pushed and a lot of the agendas that's coming out, people actually don't really accept the way that they're saying that they accept it. So the same thing, when you go out into society and try and expect that acceptance, you do not get it. And it's only in certain places around certain people this idea that this whole thing is like that works, but in the real world it's just not the case, and we're starting to see that.
That's delusion, fam. That's 100% wholeheartedly open delusion, fam.
yes, people. Well, what I say for the question of why relationships are not working, I would say just be brutally truthful and honest with oneself. You understand? Do you honestly want a relationship, or do you just want to go on a sexual rampage? You understand? Enjoy yourself. You understand? And then hopefully you get something down the line where somebody wants to commit to you and show you what love actually is. I don't know. But be honest with yourself. I know, say, listen, these relationships are arduous. They're not easy as they seem to be. They're not supposed to be fun. Sometimes, yes. You get me? But moving on, because I hear this a lot, right? And I hear this a lot on social media too. Where are the real men? You're not a real man. Hold up.
Mate.
Where's all the real men? You're not a real man. You get me?
You know
and if you don't agree, and it could be even men or women, but strongly on the woman's side, and if you don't agree, you know, you're not a real man. Or if you don't do something a certain way, you're not a real man. So my question is, what is a real man? Because I don't think this is a topic that ever got discussed or discussed.
I would have started this.
What is a real man?
Please. Oh my God. I was having this conversation with my bro the other day, literally.
Go on.
Like, it's mad. Yeah. Like, yeah. And this ties on to from what we were just talking about, you know. A lot of the crap that people are talking, like from a position of self promotion to like
Narcissism.
Yeah, basically it's narcissism. It's pure narcissism, literally. And you know what it is? It's interesting because the easiest way to say this is like the only people who can be qualified to dictate to even understand what it means to be a man are men.
You nuts right here, fam.
I cannot sit here and I can tell you my opinion from what I've learned over the course of my life and experiences about women. I can tell you that all day. But I can't tell you what it means to be a fucking woman. And any man who thinks he can is a dickhead, mate. Because at the end of the day, that's not how it works in this reality that we live in. Reality is there's a man, there's a woman. You know yourself, and you really are going to be confused about the other person, which is what we experience, right? Yeah. So the thing is, this is what I say. What it means to be a real man? Now that's interesting. You asked that because that's been skewed as well. Massively.
Yeah, I was gonna get
time,
deep on it.
especially, and I can't wait until you do, bro. Trust me. But especially
Now before you do, make it pass out.
Especially, can I just say? I want to land something. Especially, like you see, I can even just speak from my own experience. Like growing up, I didn't have the father figure. Like us experienced, etc. But like I had to learn from the elders around me, and the elders that I had around me growing up in Poplar, in Bow, do you know what I'm saying, were roadman. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of music man as well.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what led me closer into the music industry. Luckily, I didn't go the road way. Do you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that do because of lack of teaching what it means to be a man. And the problem is I got taught, my mum was the person who tried to at first teach me, with the absence of my father, to teach me what it meant to be a man. But the problem with that is she already had this biased hatred for men because of the fucking experience she had with my dad, because it was so damn bad, that she was basically like projecting that while trying to teach me what it means to be a man. So I ended up learning at first that being a man means you're not shit, that you're a duck out, that you're probably going to do the same thing for me. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, if it sometimes worded directly like that. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't blame my mum for that. That's just her projecting her pain. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and she was going through her own journey. But the reality is this happens a lot in society. Like, the wrong people are trying to teach our young guys what it means to be a man, and it's going the wrong way, as you're gonna see. We're already seeing, like, it's gone sideways. Do you know what I'm saying?
Just to quickly jump on the back, and then when we're doing that, a lot of the time it's directed in the wrong way, like you're talking about the street or just skullduggery. Do you know what I'm saying? And cool, if it's gonna be something that's gonna make you money, quote unquote, yeah, there's no togetherness. There's a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of crabs in a bucket. There's a lot of drama. Do you see what I'm trying to say? There's a lot of dissing. There's a lot of, do you know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, that's human nature. Cool. But where's the plan for that? Where's the subconscious for that? You see what I'm trying to say? We don't, a lot of the time we don't look for that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just one thing. But another thing is, I think the social media thing has been given as a weapon, but we just didn't know, you know what I'm saying, how to wield it. We didn't know we was wielding one type stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because the conversations, some of the conversations and some of the topics, the talking points that have been, you know what I'm saying, posted on social media over the years and recently, they don't need to be on social media. These are ones that need to be had in your house type stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because a lot of our conversations in our community, bro, we don't need to have on social media, bro.
No, it's true. It's true.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? So, especially with this one being a man and what's a man, all these conversations are just causing hella issues, bro. That's the bottom line.
That's the real, man.
That's it.
That's the real. And I just want to add something as well, because I opened my phone for a reason, because my son just messaged me good night, and I'm messaging him back, so I'm just letting you know. I don't like being rude like that while people are talking. But to be a real man, and this ties to my son. Like, in all honesty, my kids taught me what it meant to be a real man. Do you know what I'm saying? And based on the responsibility that I uphold, like, so seriously, more than anything in my life, brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the protection and well-being of those kids is my only thought most of the day. Do you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, regardless, it's been challenging with this breakup with their mum and everything else, but regardless of whatever happens emotionally on her side and the way that she tries to provoke me to make her right, you know what I'm saying, about how I will react and how I knew you were always like that, you know, when you cross the line. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I will never take my eye off of that particular responsibility I have over those children and anything that could mess that up. Do you know what I'm saying? That I know what to ignore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, being a real man, as far as I've learned up to this point, almost 40, is literally holding down every single thing you create. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether that be word, whether that be your children, whether that be ideas, ideologies, whatever. Like, anything that you bring into existence from you as a man, you're responsible for and you're accountable for, and you hold down that responsibility. That's what I believe to be a real man.
Let me ask you a question. Do you genuinely believe social media is a problem? And if so, why?
I didn't got to answer.
One sec. I'm coming to you. Because he said something that kind of had my ears percolating a bit.
We didn't know he was wielding a weapon, innit?
Yeah. So,
no, but yeah, that one there, I'm saying that because at the end of the day, we're in a scenario where we're having a conversation for instance, we're having a conversation here now, yeah. But in many different rooms, in many different places, apartments, complexes. Same thing, same characters, same positioning, similar positioning type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Same elements. So it's like, at the end of the day, we need to be accountable for the results and the destruction that's coming. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because we're manifesting these things. Over the last, I would say 3 years, I think since COVID, we've seen this sharp decline. And like I was going back to the mental health, what I'm seeing, bro. You know what I'm saying? That there, fam, is not being taken into account, bro. Everybody's just moving. You know what I'm trying to say? The new trends. Everybody's just saying, you know what, I'm gonna take that. Let's move with that. You're not understanding what you're doing is you know what I'm trying to say, it's affecting your future, bro. And that's what we're seeing day by day, bro.
See, the thing is, right, if you leave social media alone, social media don't do nobody nothing, right? You understand where I'm coming from? So people are their own enemies. You understand? It's literally as simple as that. Yeah. People are their own enemies. If you leave a gun alone, it's not gonna shoot. If you leave a knife alone, it's not gonna cut nothing. People are their own worst enemies.
But do you know what
you understand where I'm coming from?
Do you know what we got now? Yeah.
So that's why I had to ask that, because it's like we have this misconception that social media is an issue.
But that's why I said.
I'm not saying the wielders can't make it an issue, and you know what I mean, and what you consume. You understand? And obviously, if you're a parent and you allow your young children to consume these type of, you know what I mean, social media content, you hit me, and then it has an impact on them mentally, then what are you doing?
But do you know what it is though? Do you know what it is though, Alias? Let's look at it from a wider lens now, innit? Wide angle.
All right, space lens.
Space lens, yeah.
That's what
Fish eye thing, proper. Now.
Fish eye.
So let's look at it like this. Boom. We got 3 kids in a home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say 2 girls, 1 boy. And it's a single parent home, the mum. But she's got to go out to work or do whatever, hustle, boom, 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 got to feed kids, innit? Now, she just lets her kids on the iPad. Just to settle them for an hour before bed, bro.
Yeah,
so she can get a little peace and, you know, recharge. Now, you see with the social media thing, this is where it gets deep, because what you lot, not you lot, but what the world's not realizing is that the whole pandemic broke people's mentality, bruv. When I go on TikTok live and I flip the camera to the road, my viewers go from 10 to 200, bruv, in that literally 5 seconds, because you know how many people want to see outside because they're still inside their house thinking it's lockdown. And it's not even a joke. There's people that literally shake, bruv, when they walk past a group of people on the street. I'm not even lying. So see when you've got people broken like that, all they've got is social media now. Now the social media can program them. That's what it is. So see, notice, see when you're looking at groups of girls now, not to be sexist or whatever, but when you're looking at groups of girls, misogyny. Yeah, misogyny. Yeah, look at when they say in certain slang terms or certain words, it's very demure. Yeah,
You did.
They're all on the same program at the same time. All of them.
No, he's got a point.
Every single one of them are on the same. They say the same words. Do the same, bruv. Go on your social media. Go on your Snapchat, your Instagram.
It's
go on
so
your
true.
stories, and we're man them. We follow them. Go out to the same restaurants. Take the pictures of the same food. Brag about the same things. Post the same songs.
It's the formula.
Do the same dances.
Same
Everyone's been broken and programmed by social media. No one's deep in it like that. That's what I said. Fisheye lens, space lens. Now let's really look at it.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna come in from the satellite lens now.
I fully hear what you're saying, but let's just bring it back down to earth where we all reside. That's the lens I'm at.
Because I'm up there looking down like, yo, this is
You're
mad.
still saying the same thing I'm saying.
Yes,
It's
exactly the same thing.
self-inflicted.
Exactly the same thing.
The thing I would say is, and this, I'm gonna tie it all back into the first part thing that I
and
never
then
got
you-
to answer about being a man.
my bad.
And I think social media and media as a whole, because before social media you had television. Jerry Springer was doing exactly the same thing. You had Ricky Lake,
Oprah
Winfrey.
Winfrey.
Programming has been going on from before the internet has
And sorry,
happened.
not to cut you off, just to add into that point, everybody swears blind they saw the moon landing, bruv.
Yeah.
But it was played on radio. There was no video footage. That's how deep media can get. But sorry, brother, go on.
Yeah, so that the media as a whole, and that's the same thing what you're saying about being a man. Yeah, it's like we're living in a created synthetic. This is why people call it the Matrix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because what we're living is a created world, and all of that is being formed by the media, by the news, telling us what we're supposed to do, what things are, and even the definition of a man. Coming back to what you're saying, that's defined what that is, and it's created because. If you now think of a man and woman, or a boy and a girl, they wash up on a desert island, you assume man and woman roles naturally, innit? In whatever environment you go into. You don't have to be taught how to be a man or know what it is. It's a natural thing. As a dynamic where there's one and another, if you go into the moon, as a man and a woman, you will just do what a man and a woman does on the moon. You don't need to be taught how to be one or the other. The problem is we're in a created synthetic society they dictate what the man is in this environment. Like you're in a computer game and they tell you what the man attributes are. They can extend them, and they've done that. Now, we've updated what the man can do now. You have to now go and do all this extra stuff. And for women, you now can do this and this. Now you're still a woman and you're still a man, and they can update the definitions. This is why in this fabricated society now you can be a man or a woman and no one can tell the difference, because really what they've created now is interchangeable. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, in the schools, the kids can be a cat. In the schools right now,
brother, that is
in the schools right now, the kids can be a cat or a dog, and no one has to inform the parents.
So what it really is a man now is not a real thing. It's created, and by this definition we've got that society's telling us, and social media is part of that
Matrix,
and it's creating even when people talk now. We've almost lost what a man or a woman is, because, as I say, we've created this situation.
It's a construct. People are accepting it's a construct.
And when we're looking at relationships, we're looking at what people formed hundreds of years ago. We're not in that situation hundreds of years ago with the natural elements and the purposes and the needs for you to now just naturally be a man. In this environment, this virtual environment we've created, all you have to do is make money and have babies. That's what defines you as a man. Producing and making money. That's what the institution needs of you. It needs you to produce so it can exploit and make money off you, and it needs you to make babies so it can keep doing it. That's it.
Right? And if you don't supposedly look after that baby that you've created, society's put things in place where it shames, labels you to do your job. You understand? Whether it's another man, a group of girl, social media, your parents, whatever the case is, it's putting things in place. So it's like, if you think you're not going to do your duties and pay us, you understand? Because when you're paying, because regardless if the man don't want to be there and is maybe paying child support, most of that money is not going to the child. You understand? It's literally going to the... So it's like, they've literally got things in place to shame, label you, guilt trip you. You get me? Send you to prison. You get me? If you don't adhere to what they class as being a man.
Well, that's just who's responsible. Like that's the society now. For babies that are born, they need things. They need someone to take accountability financially for any child that's born. That's all they're concerned about. They weren't concerned about how the child was made. Really, if you now look at who should look after that child or how that child should be sustained, it should all be brought back to the beginning of the conception of why that child was had in the first place. The problem is there isn't a reason why now most children are here. Do you know what I'm saying? So most children are here by accident, and then somehow we have to now account for them to be here. So they have to just be like, okay, well, you had the child. Whether there was a reason for it or not, you're going to have to pay for it.
I just had a whole epiphany, bro. I just had a whole epiphany while you was talking. See, back in the day when you had a child, Yeah, the child was a literal product of you as a man.
Oh my God, keep
Yeah.
on talking, my brother.
The child is a literal product of you. You created the child. The child is a product of you. Yeah. So back in the day, 1600s, 1500s, you're responsible for all your creations. They're your heirs to your estate. Yeah. See, these days we ain't got no estate, fam. We live on the estate.
Previously, as a man, you would be responsible for all your family.
I couldn't make this up.
To you, my
Exactly
brother.
that.
So you had to actually have authority over the other people in your family. Now, they'll still come to you, but you ain't got no authority. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. So see, even when it comes to the like you as a child, oh, this is your child, DNA, oh, you got to pay. Bro, that's literally, there's been a shift of ownership between the children of the estate. You see what I'm saying? The government owns the children, all your offspring now. You don't have any authority on your
Preach.
offspring.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but you have full responsibility though.
Yeah, we've got no authority but full
So
responsibility.
you have to pay the government, just like you have to pay your taxes. Remember, when you pay tax and you go and you make your money, whatever is left over from your tax, you go give him some, he's got to pay tax on it. He gives it to him, he's got to pay tax on it. He gives it to Red, Red's got to pay some tax on it. That comes back to me. I ain't paying no tax on that. You know what I do, fam. You know how I move.
Yeah.
But I'm going to teach this brother how not to pay no tax as well, fam. Get me?
And what are you even paying for? Because in terms of being another version of you, remember I was saying where before we used to be the Smiths, like your son would follow your line.
Yeah.
Now you're sending them into the school and the government programs them. They're not even trying to do what you're trying to do, you know what I mean? So what is it that you're actually paying for? You're paying for the government's, for them to now program them and then purpose them for their earning. You end up probably in a battle. If you now got a profession that you're trying to get your child to follow, chances are by the time they've done their GCSEs, they don't want to do it no more.
This is the reality. They've turned you into an actual person. By legal definition in Black's Law Dictionary, JJ, I know you hear this, my brother. A person is a legal fiction or company. It's not a human being.
Of course.
A person is a legal fiction or a company, a business. That's a person. Yeah. So corporate law, companies can act as persons. In terms of paying tax and benefits, etc., etc. You're now a person, bruv. You produce offspring product for the government, for the citadel. You're a citizen.
Yeah, but you see where we are
Yeah,
now.
I want to add something to this
Where
though.
we are now.
I really want to add something that you guys are not talking about.
I'm just
but more
saying,
time.
you see,
Because
I think, hold up.
Yeah.
Because I think that where we are now, clearly there had to be a break in the link in the chain somewhere. You understand where I'm coming from? Because how is it possible that, okay, you know, you as a man, you know, or a woman, you guys can have your kids, don't have really that much authority, you know, but your kids are going to school to be programmed by the state, you understand? And for instance, you know, as I said, the dad gets held accountable, the mum goes off to work because she wants more money, you know what I mean, to provide, you know, things for the kids, maybe after school soccer club and all this type of stuff, you understand, that she thinks the child may need, you understand? And then the kids come home, back onto PlayStation, iPods, you know, so, you know, what are they learning? Who's looking after them? You understand? So this is what I'm saying. And as you said, back in the day, it was kind of like a rite of passage. You understand? You know, the dad teaches the kid his trade,
That's
and the
what
kid
it is.
goes on. So along the line, where was there break in the chain?
So this is what I want to add, yeah, because this is the interesting thing, because I'm living this right now with my children. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, as much as obviously I know that they're so heavily influenced by school, because that's
Yeah.
where they spend most of their time. Do you know what I'm saying? And by law, which is bullshit in the first place, but by law, this is the reality of the system we live in. They have to go to school, but I could homeschool them as well. Do you know what I'm saying? If I wanted to. Now, hear me out. Yeah, like my kids, I'd spend a hell of a lot of time with my children. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I see them like 5 times a week, even though I'm not even with their mum. Do you know what I'm saying? It's consistently been like that for 4 years. I'm lucky because of what I do for a living. A lot of people have to spend a lot more time at work and everything else.
Yeah.
Like my work goes with me wherever I am. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a musician. Do you know what I'm saying? So like I don't work conventional times like 9 to 5. You get me? So I pick my kids up from school all the time while she's working. You get me? So the point is I spend a lot of time with my children making music in particular. Now, I am a teacher. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I work as a teacher. Like, I've worked a lot of my life as a teacher as well. And one thing I know about just the natural relationship that children have with their parents, a lot of the time, and this is down to a character thing as well, I think, personality. Do you know what I'm saying? But the vast amount, I would say, majority of parents really struggle to have a connection with their children, especially at a particular age. Do you know what I'm saying? Like teenage. Yeah. And like, the thing is, you know, when it comes to this is what I'm trying to say. The thing when it comes to children, and I'm listening to what you guys are saying, I agree with everything you're saying, but my mentality is, this is the way I look at it. Like, I try to always look at things from a child's point of view. Do you know what I'm saying? What is important to them? What do they need? Do you know what I'm saying? That's of the utmost importance, above money and other shit, bruv, in this world. Yeah, because this is their experience. This is what's going to shape the rest of their life. This experience right now. And I think a lot of people are very fucking blind to how impactful the things we deem as small as adults, how big those are to children. Because guess what? When they grow up and they can't let go of certain things, a certain trauma, like from these things they've experienced and seen. Like, we can't block our kids from everything, but do you know what it is? When you've got an intent behind life, do you know what I'm saying? You just remind yourself, like, to kick yourself at certain times and don't say that, don't do that, don't react like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, all of us are stressed, all of us are angry, but we fucking project a lot of shit on these kids, man. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's killing them. Like, and I gotta say this because I grew up like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 38 and I've still got certain things I need to fucking work on. That's bullshit. I don't want that for my children.
I had an epiphany.
That's it.
When it comes to what you're saying, right? I don't think it's like the parents don't have enough time or that. I don't think they care enough.
I think people are selfish, brother.
To spend enough time with their own children.
A lot of people are selfish.
I genuinely don't think they care enough to spend enough time with their children. They care about other things more than their children. Because it seems like when it comes to a lot of people, and I'm talking especially females, right? Because they are the primary 100%. Caregivers of the children, right? Let's be honest, right? It's like they're preoccupied or other things prioritized over the children. You understand where I'm coming from? Because you know what it is? Let me tell you a quick little story, right? When I was younger, in the Caribbean Munshot, when I grew up, when I was going primary school, right? We used to get graded out of 100%. And I always used to get more or less like 38, 45. So I was falling way behind. You understand? You know, the only reason I caught up, because my auntie decided for a few months she was going to come over, because she's a hard disciplinarian as well. She used to beat man proper, bro. She wouldn't hesitate. You understand? She used to come over and spend time with man, educationally, so I could catch up. And then after that 3-4 months, I was hitting all 67, 70, 80%. Overjoyed and ecstatic. What? I didn't need auntie's help anymore. I can do it now myself, because I understand. Somebody spent time with me to help me understand. You understand? Because the teachers ain't really going to have time at school to individually help everybody. You understand? So some kids get left behind, and if you don't seem like you want to learn or you're disruptive to the class, you are going to get left out. They're not really going to care about you so much. So it does help when you're at home with your children, even if it's an hour, to teach them something.
I think I've got it, and you know what? Like, I think I've literally just distilled what the actual problem is now.
Go on. It's me, silent business.
No,
I'm just messing up.
Yo, this is gonna be a lot. Okay. So what it is, yeah, is state education. Education, yeah, because as we said, yeah, previously you would have taken on your father's role, yeah. But now you go to a school that the state controls. Why? Firstly, why would the state have a school in the first place? Yeah, they fill it with 30 children from each different family, yeah? Where imagine if you're learning from your dad, it's just you and your dad, not 30 other children there.
Think of the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly. So it's mass production
Yes.
of the units that they need to
Mass
now go
production
into
of
their
workers.
I
systems.
back up what he's saying as
So
well.
literally, as soon as you go into state education as a whole for the state is literally farming children to go into his system. Other than that, and also you'll notice the people that excel in society are usually privately educated. They're not state programmed, just like the masses. Not saying that private education is the solution, but state education is a programming literally for failure. It's messing up our kids in terms of what they actually understand they should do. Secondly, the messages that they spend the majority of their time at school getting programmed in a philosophy that is not of you trying to recreate your child, which is what we even do it for in the first place. So the state in itself, the fact that it's got into schooling and turned it literally into a business of creating literally units for itself to now benefit from, we're not going to get out of it until we see that schooling system as literally corrupt and flawed. And we've got to now take schooling, and firstly we'd probably have to take it back. So parents are probably going to have to start doing a lot more involvement and take it away from the state, so that the state isn't giving the messaging and the actual education. The parents are.
But in order for them to do that, they would need to ease up on so many other aspects of the system.
Well, it's compulsory. You don't send your kids to school, you go to jail.
No, hear what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying.
Simple. This is why they control it that way.
I hear what you're saying.
You can't win.
You see, but that's the misconception. Right? Just with a lot of things they do, they make you feel that they have the power to send you to jail. But guess what? If they tell you that and you believe it, then they have the power.
And do you want to know how?
You
I
understand?
can
You
prove
need to know better. You can actually homeschool your child. You just
Of
have
course.
to do it correctly.
No,
that?
there's a
take them
system
out
to
of
follow.
that.
Yeah,
Because I didn't go to school for an entire year and a half.
yeah.
They kicked me out. Told me if you don't come back, you're going court. Came back. They said if you catch you on school grounds again, we're calling the police. Went home. Stayed home for a month. They threatened man to cut. Bruv, I didn't go, fam. I said, bun this. Do you know what happened at the end of year 11? Oh, can you come in for your exams? What? Yeah, fam.
That's because they make money out of each student. They have to each uni they get money or college.
I was a top set student.
Yeah,
Top set student from primary school all the way to year 11.
But this
They need
tends
that
to
money.
happen, brother.
And you see, because they tried to bump me, bruv. Yeah, they tried to make me a statistic, fam. They tried to bump, and they're creating numbers with this statistics as well. When they put a certain demographic in a certain statistic, who graduate with these numbers, who go into this workforce, what do you think they're doing, bruv? They're moving, bruv. They're keeping certain communities down. If all these kids from a certain demographic are from this community, a man keep them down, they're never gonna rise up to buy back that community.
Yeah.
Bro, this is business. Fam.
Yeah, I hear you.
This is business, bro.
The masses don't get that opportunity, but at the same time, you do see a lot of people who do come from the same circumstances and
Of
still
course.
excel.
But
do you know what I'm
those
saying?
people, they're not the majority.
No, they're not the majority.
And what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to alert everyone here to, I'm not trying to go into anything Bill Gatesy or whatever, but if I can affect the majority or a larger percentage than whatever,
But
then I'm
do you know?
successful.
Do you know what?
Do you
Can I
know-
ask a
alright,
question
welcome back,
about
guys.
that?
You see-
what one to Jay? No, actually, continue.
Yeah, there's in Sherlock Holmes, there's the guy Dr. Watson.
Yeah.
So he's based off of a behavioral psychologist, and Dr. Watson's got a quote here. He says, "Give me a dozen healthy infants, well formed, and my own specified world to bring them up in, and I'll guarantee to take anyone at random and train him to become any type of specialist I might select: doctor, lawyer, artist, merchant chief, and yes, even beggarman and thief, regardless of his talents, penchants, tendencies, abilities, vocations, and race of his ancestors. I am going beyond my facts, and I admit it, but so have the advocates of the contrary, and they have been doing it for many thousands of years.
He's just basically wrapped up everything I said, innit? Round of applause again.
It's true.
Junior, ladies and gentlemen.
And you know what it is like? Like when I've kind of dipped in and out of the teaching world. Yeah, I used to. I taught at secondary school level, but I was more involved with SEN than anything else, and mainly
So
because
you got patience.
Yeah. You know what it is with children? Like, I don't know what it is. I've always had this thing with kids of being able to connect on their
got a
level.
question
But
for
anyway,
you.
but the point is like, you know, like one thing I've always been vocal about while I've been working at any establishment I've been at is, because you observe, you see other teachers the way they are and stuff like the majority of teachers like that I've ever worked around just have the wrong ethic around teaching itself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they do, and you know what the main thing they're missing? They don't give a shit about the kids. That's the one. We have all of these kinds of teachers that are so easily controllable by the powers that be. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, I managed to have a career where I ticked certain boxes, but I added my little flavor. Do you get what I'm saying? And that little flavor did make a difference. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when I spoke to certain kids that, especially were from deprived backgrounds, that were going through certain things, I can relate to all that shit because I went through that shit. Do
Can I
you
ask
get
you a
what I'm
question,
saying?
Femi?
Yo,
What's the average teaching salary for a public school?
what we're talking secondary level?
Yeah. The most important
35, I think probably about now.
for 35 bags, yeah. How many kids you dealing with a year, bruv?
A year.
A year. How many children are you, other people's kids and problem children, you dealing with in one single year for 35 bags?
It's a class of 30 odd.
Yeah, and then whoever else comes.
And
in,
whoever else, the other
You get what
children. I
I'm
mean,
saying?
there's like 1,000 children in one school usually, like maybe
get me?
more. Like, you know, depends on the size of the school.
£35 a kid, bruv.
You know what it is though? Like, this is what I'm bringing it back to though. Yeah, like teaching shouldn't really. It's like it's one of these really important jobs in society. Like very like one of the most important, alongside like emergency personnel, etc.
Basically, it's more
But-
important than being a lawyer.
100%. 100%. You understand something like that's the future. You understand? Like the makeup of our society, we're all going to be old when our kids reach our age. A lot of people have this delusion of continuity. They believe that the way you see yourself right now is going to be that's going to be forever. A lot of people are delusional like that. Yeah, and we're conditioned to be like that, right? So, but the point is like, yo, we're basically creating our future as well. The way that those young people today think later on is going to dictate the way we're looked after as old people. Do you get what I'm saying? And look at the old people today. They must be sitting to themselves in their subconscious and really thinking, shit, I wish I did certain things differently. A lot of them. Because look at how they're being
Just a
treated. They're
cycle,
just dashed
man.
aside by their family. Do you know what I'm saying? Put in a home. Like, I can't believe that. Do you know, as a culture,
That's the culture.
it's ridiculous, bro.
But
Yeah,
let
like,
me
but I know that's here.
let me
Like,
ask
do
you
know what I'm
guys a
saying?
question. All right. Tuesday we say at times when we speak, we generalize and we speak about the majority. So would you say like majority can be or gonna be successful? Like majority of men.
Of course not. It's the system's not designed for a majority success. It's just it's a cattle, innit? The whole thing of what we're saying is it's a mass production teaching system that is teaching you really just to function within this virtual system, as I was saying before.
It's a conveyor belt. Bruv.
So like caring about the kids is most people just need the money. Most people are there for the money, and even schools as a whole, we've got loads and loads of schools, loads and loads of teachers in this mass production, so quality is gonna drop in every way, shape or form. Like I think one thing that we're forgetting as well, because everything seems to be degrading, if you notice,
talking to them, man.
schools and the amount of class sizes going up, the education levels gone down. That's because we got so much people. If you notice, and I know it's going to sound kind of like nihilistic and all of that, but in a lot of the times where we saw a lot of excellence in education, there was less people in the world. Class size is a lot smaller. Even when I talked about private schools, the reason why they get those things is because it's not a conveyor belt. There's more attention paid to smaller things. It's either quality or quantity, in it. So we're either going to have lots and lots of schools that are really not that good, or we have a small amount of schools that are really, really good. The problem is we've got loads too many people. That are, the unwanted children and the amount of people that are being fed out is what's happened, because children and the birth rates have exploded, and we haven't had the schools or the quality of schools to cope with it. So really, what will probably happen in time is that, and we're seeing this now, people are reproducing less. So the number of children even going into schools will probably be less. And the institution will probably have a more difficult time in terms of with the programming, unless, well, if we now start to take steps to improve the schools, then we can maybe change things. But when you're now going mass production and conveyor belt with the way that schools are being managed by the state now, it's just literally a farm. It's like a battery chicken farm.
I feel you. Can I? Thank you, bro. Yeah, I feel you. I kind of got I understand where you're coming from. I got a little bit of a different take. So when it comes to economics, the bigger the population, for me, it seems to be the bigger the opportunity for. So for instance, the more people we have, the more opportunity we have to train more people up to be teachers. Therefore, we could have more resources for people. The more people are in society, the more people are paying tax. So they could have more money to build schools with more people paying tax in this economy. So that's how I kind of see it.
Sorry, when you have more, you're gonna have more variance in your. So no matter how much you increase a scale, it's always gonna have a 1 to 10, like the law of averages will apply. Whether you've got 100, 1,000, or 1,000,000. So the law of averages will still apply. You're just going to multiply your problem.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So, like, if we've got a small amount of schools, or if we've got a large amount of schools, we've got a large amount of students or a small amount of students, it really just is about the amount of people that they're allocating or resources they're allocating, human resources or physical resources that they're allocating towards the problem in order to guide and shape people to be productive members of society. And to go back to your question, Silent, you was talking about being successful. I mean, the first thing that clicked into my head was, what do we call successful? Because there's a man goes to work, he's a bin man. We know we've had this conversation before, that woman in America. Or it drives a bus.
Because the reason I asked that question, it would have led back to the first question I asked, what is a real man? Because in society now, women are looking for real men. They shame men from being real men or masculine, emasculate them, so to speak. You understand? And obviously at times other men do shame other men because they appear to be weaker. They don't agree, you know what I mean? So the question was, what is a real man?
Yeah, but this is my point. Remember that
again, a real woman, like
sister, what's her name?
A real woman wouldn't say that.
There's a sister, what's she saying? She was talking to Ayana Versattam, and they was chatting, and then she was talking about, what kind of man she used to be a anchor on Fox News, and she was to what this kind of man, that kind of man, and Ayana asked her, would you marry a bus driver? And she was like,
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And she was like, if he owns the bus. And the point is, if that man comes home, brings home the money, don't spend nothing, walks past the betting shop, the alcohol shop, brings home all the money, he's working out how he's going to deal with investments, looks after the children, patterns up the home, for me, that sounds like a success.
You see, we see as success.
So understand. So this is why we have to define, what do we call success? Should be subjective.
Let me tell you now.
Real man is
different from my success. So you can be a winner. I can be
the construct is.
Well, let me tell you now. You see, we now will probably see that as a success, right? But as the woman says, she don't see that as a success.
Yes.
Do you understand where I'm coming from? And now that man would be shamed into or be emasculated. You're not a real man because you cannot provide at the level I want you to. You understand?
I'm good
And
with
then obviously that indoctrination through social media and
Applies pressure.
and obviously if they got a big following, trickles down and the gal them get it in their head and it squeezes a man's balls, apply pressure. You understand? And the man them think, raw, I gotta operate like this. And obviously that causes some mental pressure onto a man to feel like, instead of logically working it out, feels like he has to operate like this to please this woman that's trying to turn him into a slave.
Well, I tell you, this is going to be another one where. So, for instance, you know what you said a man is, economics, and because of this institution, economics is literally intrinsically linked to masculinity and being a man. Yeah. So, unfortunately, economics has become, on money has become the new force. So if you now equate money to violence because they achieve the same thing, or force, so in order to acquire something previously, you either had to use force to acquire it, or it would have to be given to you. Now you have to use this to exchange it, money. So
it's
money is the new mechanism of encounter exchange. So where before it used to be cause and effect, or me being able to take something from you or you not being able to resist it, now I can do the same thing with money. It's basically power in our society. So if you're a man, you have to have power. So that's literally what money gives you. So to be successful in our society, to be powerful, you have to be economically powerful, and that means to be a man, you have to have economic credibility or strength.
Can I add in there though,
So
my brother?
yeah, go to
Even if we're thinking of my brother Genghis Khan, when I think about it, 1-on-1, 10-on-1, he could have beat down any of his soldiers. But for him to have a big army, he still had to go take stuff and then pay his soldiers. Economics has always been valid in being a man. That's the epiphany I'm having when I'm listening.
No, you needed strength to achieve it though. So before strength, so if we now take away money out of the world, all we have is strength. So and that will be your fear or our ability is literally survival of the fittest. But once you introduce money into it, then money becomes the mechanism that becomes the strength. It removes strength off the table. And as I say, that the only people that can use fight violence now is the state. That's why they can go to war. That's why the police can come beat you up and you can't do nothing. If a man licks you in your face, you're not really meant to hit him back. The state is meant to do that. You go to court and they do the disciplining. So force has been taken off the table. Only the state can use force. You can now use money now to pay a man to go to court, and then you do him, and then you do him financially. That's where you hit him where it hurts now. But you know what I mean? You hit him in his pockets.
But that state that is the only one that's allowed to use force is the same one telling you that money is the new thing.
Yeah, it would do, because
if it's me
it's
and
the
Mike
monopoly
Tyson
on it.
on a planet, on a desert island, as smart as I feel like I am, Mike Tyson might be the president of the. You understand? So even if it's a stupid idea, I'm gonna have to say, that's a good idea. Mr.
No,
see what I'm saying?
I don't agree. I don't agree.
However, I run game on him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
and money's gonna be the intermediary.
Yeah, but men, listen, those men, that how can I say, that mental prowess is so much more powerful than any fucking physicality, brother.
If applied properly.
And also depending on how resilient that person actually is mentally as well. But what I'm saying,
it mainly depends on the situation.
You're right. But look at let's even apply it to now. Look at the state of the world. Who is on top?
Well, we can have a debate.
Who has the most money, though? Is what I'm trying to say. The smartest, most exploitative fucking people in existence are the ones who are in power.
Hold on.
They're not strong, like, you know what I'm saying? They don't go gym. That man don't go gym.
Hold on, yeah, go on.
Well, let's look at the Mike Tyson situation. Yeah, cool. You've got the brains. He's got the brawn, right? Now, my guy might instantly clock. Right, it's just the two of us, fam. If I beat down JJ, who's gonna bring the food, fam? In that time, food is the exchange thing, the monetary thing. There, we can use any rocks, teeth, blood, shells. They've chosen money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't exist.
They
This is
printed
why.
money.
It's
They
because
printed
it's
the idea of
They
money.
printed money
That's
in
it.
place of silver and gold
of
coins,
tangibles,
basically.
but tangibles is different. Once you move away from tangibles is when you can now have more power than you actually have. This is why the banks do 5 times their actual reserve and got rich overweight, and that's how these systems all been corrupted. Because the money was invented and they can literally create it and take it away from tangibility.
Sterling silver.
Well, when it was tangible, that's when you had guys invading your castle and taking your actual gold in your castle. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it wasn't like digital money being exchanged like that. It wasn't like that.
Okay. I want to ask you, man, a question. Everyone's music man in the room now.
Go on.
How much money can Diddy pay you, man, to sign up to his
Nothing,
thing
bro.
right now?
Come on,
God.
Diddy.
Diddy, forget that, bro. Unfortunately,
But
it's about integrity, and everybody's got a price for their integrity. Now that we know what's going on with a lot of this stuff, no one's selling their integrity like that.
No,
you
it's
understand?
true.
See the question there, though.
It's true.
Because we're talking about the power of money,
Yeah,
but we got a power within us as well, innately as men.
Depends how you define life.
And
though,
you
man,
have to
as
use
well,
Diddy,
like-
brother.
Well, no, you know, I'm just no. Do you know why? I don't know about what goes on in Diddy's house.
I'm
But
just
the way
saying
that-
from now, no Diddy.
No, I don't know what goes on in
his
his. Well, listen, okay.
We all know what
I'm just,
goes on in his house,
I'm on the camera, so I'm saying I don't know what he does. However, because of the allegations and them things, it's not an environment I would want to be around. You understand? So there's a time that kind of affects a way someone can do business. So now, if the things I'm hearing, I'm man. I'm not them
Bro,
like
when
them.
I saw that video of man stamping on that gal,
Oh, Cassie, yeah, exactly.
listen, that's enough, man. I don't even care about the rest of it.
Exactly.
More time.
So that's
No, hear what I'm trying to say. It's not about I don't care about the rest of it. I'm saying that's enough for me to be like,
Before
you're a
you even
dickhead,
start
mate.
considering the
Do you know
rest.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
no, I hear
treating
you.
gal like that.
But hold up.
I don't care, bro.
that's what
But hold up.
Nah, you don't
But hold up.
stamp down on gal like
But hold
that,
up.
man.
Okay,
Right.
yes, we
Nah,
can-
but we know what kind of guy he is.
We can
like, he's
change it
always
that.
been.
Hold
Come
up,
on.
hold
He's
up,
like-
hold up,
that's an
hold
arrogant
up,
fool.
hold up.
apparently
Come on.
Cassie was his accomplice. That's
I
all I'm
get
saying.
what you
Are you
guys are
serious?
saying.
Yeah,
Hold
the
up, hold up.
accomplice. There wasn't what
Hold
you
up.
saw was too. You know
So
what I mean?
Let me
She's
ask
not
you a
innocent,
question.
fam.
Let me ask you a
She's not
question.
innocent,
Let me
bro.
ask you a
Where's that come
question.
from? I don't-
I get what you guys are saying. Hold up, hold
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Let's not go past this point. I get what you guys are
that's the way.
saying, right? But my point is, like, I get what Diddy done and whatever, and if it was real or whatever the case is, obviously, like, I don't think most men on the planet, like, don't support that shit, right? But I'm saying, at what point do we hold a woman accountable?
I was gonna say the same
Like,
thing.
what, like
Accountable for what?
The girls that
What?
the girls that Diddy turned
No,
out.
I'm just trying to
he
clarify
did it
what you-
with
what you're
Cassie
saying.
as well. They were doing stuff together. Like she also remember she was with Ryan Leslie before Diddy, and he was a big man as well. And she left him for the money of Diddy and that life. She knew kind of what she was getting into. So,
But no, okay. And this goes back to the question, yeah. Because remember, I'm gonna apply one more thing, so something that we're forgetting here. Yeah. When do we no longer recognize somebody as a child, as a young person? You hear what I'm saying on this? Yeah. Because that gal is, remember, a lot younger than Diddy. I have my own opinion around that. Personally, for me, I would never even look like that
How old was she when she
at a
got
much
with Diddy?
younger gal. I can't do it.
See, she
You know
was
what I'm
with
saying?
Ryan
That's
Leslie
just me.
before Diddy.
But how old was she?
I
when
ain't
she
judging
got with
anybody
Diddy,
else.
though?
But the point of the matter, what I'm
He was
trying
the
to
same
say,
age.
the point of, nah, he's much older than her, man.
Wait,
No, Ryan
how-
Leslie was
Ryan
the same.
Leslie always the same
And
age.
he
How
was
old
with
was
him
she
before
when she
Yeah,
got
Diddy.
with
but
Diddy,
what I'm
though?
trying
Where's
to say,
the parents at?
but hear what I'm saying is, hear what I'm saying. Like you said, power
Yeah.
and whatnot. Like, what was the question he asked? Like,
Yeah.
would you sign with Diddy? Yeah. Now think about back then as well. Like she might have heard certain things about Diddy, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. The point of the matter is anybody would want to sign with Diddy at that point.
Unless you got
So-
protection, where's your parents at? So
No,
if
no,
you're,
for
if
real,
you're
for
a
real,
young
for real,
person,
for real. I
then
agree.
your parents protect
I agree.
you. When
And-
you're adult, then your parents don't protect you. It's just that simple.
But it comes back to what I said in the first place earlier. There's so many parents that don't give a shit about their children like that. They'll sell their kids out.
Aye, so
it's a mistake now, man.
That's on them. Do you know what I'm
Aye,
saying?
Femi.
Like, that's just people, innit? Like, it's
Femi.
fucked up. Yo.
So Cassie was 19 when she started linking Diddy.
So she was
Now look
linking
at
Ryan Leslie at
19-year-olds.
how old then?
No, but hear what I'm trying to say.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when she got
legally,
when she got
legally
released,
19, hold on. Legally, 19-year-old is an adult. Yeah. Now,
Where's the parents?
when I was closer to that age, yeah, like I probably like had a very different point of view of a 19-year-old. You see now, like I'm almost 40. Like when I work with 19-year-olds. Certain times I teach them, like in university, and when I'm around these immature, these immature fucking children. They're not. They try to act mature different times, but they're not mature, man. They're not ready for that life. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, they're not ready for that life yet, bro. Scientifically, biologically,
don't develop until
Okay, watch this.
Like,
Listen.
people are taking advantage of that. That's what I'm trying to say.
But
Come
it's
on,
for the
we can't
states. So
remark.
the states.
So my question is,
hold up. Let me kill this. Listen, I mess with science and I mess with stats and facts and all of that. Right? But you see what I'm saying about accountability. You just argued why she shouldn't take accountability, or why women in certain positions shouldn't take accountability.
No, I'm not saying why she shouldn't take accountability. I'm saying that is she really?
What I'm saying,
how is it fair for us to put that on them?
What I'm saying
as
is
young
this.
people.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this, and you said something about brain not mentally developed until 25. But you know what's mad about this? You know how many guys she's probably turned down that's around her age, making a little bit of something of themselves, and went for somebody else. So she clearly had the mental, cognitive to make that decision. So what are we talking about, bro?
Brother, that's
She, like,
what's
what?
happening. Hold on, bro. What's happening with
What are we
Cassie?
doing?
That situation is not unique.
No,
Listen, hear what I'm trying to say.
I'm not just
that
saying
happens
Cassie.
to a lot of young girls.
Listen, I'm not just saying
Like, but the
Cassie.
decision
I'm not
making
just
behind
saying
it needs to
Cassie.
be
I'm not
guided.
just saying
Exactly.
Cassie. Listen, I get it. I'm not just saying Cassie, but I'm just saying females in that position, right? You turn down other guys,
Bro, that's a mistake. That's a
you
young person's
You turn down
mistake,
hundreds
right?
of other guys and choose the one that's not beneficial for you, and then you stay in there knowing it's not beneficial for you, and you keep on with it. You understand? As
hear
I
what you're
said,
saying.
at what level do we hold these people accountable? They know what they're doing. Like, when are we going to say what until you're 25?
Hold on.
The
The experience. Let me tell you something. Yeah, like the experience that she probably had. Yeah, and how much she's probably fucking scarred by that in particular. If she did go through all of those things that allegedly she did. Yeah, because obviously nobody knows unless you care. But what I'm saying is, if she allegedly she did, bro, she's already paid over. She's experienced fucking serious trauma. Do you know what I'm saying? From going through all of that shit. So what is she being held accountable for?
Bro, it's
listen, she put herself in that situation, but hear what I'm saying. Like, no one goes into a fucking relationship here thinking that, you know, like, oh, I might be fucking abused.
Right,
Like,
but I don't.
How many stories have people heard
into a lion's den expecting not to get eaten? Diddy is a motherfucking savage. He's a lion.
Yeah,
bruv.
but clearly,
Don't look in
yeah,
there,
but
bruv.
you know, listen, you know, it's
She
easy
was
for
a
people
lamb.
to-
If
hear what I'm
if
saying.
she's such an innocent lamb, why is the lamb walking in the lion's
No,
den, bro?
I'm just seeing a young person who's just fallen into that.
Yes,
shit.
no,
Young
hold up,
people
hold up.
falling into similar
the
things,
lamb-
man.
Let's
You know what I'm saying?
let's
Young
just
people
take it.
fall
Hold
into
up,
that.
one sec. Let's just take it off Cassie.
the lion's mouth.
If
Hold
I
up,
go
guys,
out
one sec.
with you,
Let's just take it
we're
off
gonna go-
Cassie. Let's just take it off Cassie. I'm talking
Going down.
young females making these decisions in general.
Yeah, okay. Can I
understand?
speak to that? Yeah,
It
'Cause I'm
doesn't
on the-
genuinely have
I'm
to
kind
be
of on the
Cassie
fence.
because
No.
I'm kind of on the fence with this because I always think about this term statutory. Yeah, statutory. Yeah. So
you
when
can say grape, but
you can say that, yeah. But when I say when you're talking about statutory, you're talking about status and somebody using their status to manipulate somebody else. Now, at times that's dealt with because of age, but the dynamic of power also kind of plays into that surely in some kind of way, just philosophically. Like, I guess the court hasn't. I don't know the court putting that into fruition and making that something, but is that something on one side? But on the other hand as well, I personally, I look at the Diddy situation.
Every time you say his name, it just sounds mad.
It sounds mad, doesn't it? It sounds mad.
Why would you call yourself Diddy? You're Diddying people, bruv. What's wrong with you?
Do you know one thing I've noticed actually, which is strange in society that we're doing? Yeah, we talk about accountability, yeah, and we hear this a lot, yeah. But what happens is, and you just kind of said it the same, where when someone goes through, and you talked about experiences as well, where if you go through an experience afterwards, you then look back at it and then
regret.
and then you can correct it, and then what you've now just said is almost like the judgment of it. You can't be judged, and this is the same thing we're saying with Cassie, because of being young, or there's a lack of responsibility potentially for it. But really, the judgment becomes at the beginning, not after what you've done, and you then look back at it, and then it define. Before you make the judgment, it defines the person you are before you make a judgment. So when you're talking about the young girls and even us as guys, everybody, before you do the thing, you're judged on who you are at
when
the
you
beginning.
walked into that room.
Yeah, not because of it went wrong afterwards, and then it didn't turn out the way you wanted it. Then all of a sudden, well, you can say, oh, you know what? Well, this wasn't me. No. The person you are at the beginning is the maker of those choices. That is who you are, not the person at the end. Now that's gone wrong, and then you can now say, "Oh well, I don't want to be judged for my decisions because it went wrong." No, you are judged. That's why it went wrong, because of your thinking exactly beforehand. And what we've done in society now is we're now freeing people of that judgment at the beginning of their actual character that got them into the situation, to now look at it afterwards and now look at their intention. The intention of what happens. Okay, you didn't want it to go wrong. Did it go wrong? Yes. Okay, so the person you are is not what you intended, but what you actually did. Do you know what I mean? And we're not judging the right thing now. We're judging people on their intention, which is everybody would want the right outcome. Everybody would want it to be good, but that's not the case. What you did is what the measure of you and what you're accountable for at the beginning. But this is why,
can I add in there?
Go for it?
Because I swear down, that must be part of the programming. Every time a man's having a discussion with a girl, one thing they always say is, "But that wasn't my intention, though. It wasn't your intention to be rude, to ignore that person, to air that call for like a week. It wasn't your intention to do what." But I always told him the intention didn't matter. It was your action.
And how mindful he was about what
Exactly.
he did. I hear that. And
that's some immaturity though, man. Like, I don't know. Like,
it's a blind spot in it. It's
but like I said before, where everyone seems to get the same programming, that's now part of the programming.
It's who you are. So it doesn't matter, because we're all on a journey. You could be at 35, but you're going to be judged for what you are at that time.
Here's an example. What you're going to grow to be.
How important is judgment? What I was saying about
judgment defines what standards are and what is allowed in.
No, I'm saying like external judgment. I mean, the way you judge yourself is probably more important because it's in your own head. And
judgment defines where you're going to go in. So previously, we can't live alone. So you have to fit into society, not society fit you. So previously, society used to judge you to define whether you're going to be a part of it or not. And you had to do what you needed to do to be a part of it, or you'd get exiled. And that's still current in a lot of society. So you don't just get to do what you want. And this is part of the problem, this individualism, because doing what you want to do doesn't necessarily fit you in with everybody else. And by the time now you've done everything you want to do, maybe you can't fit in with everybody else. And this is something that people don't realize. Face tattoos.
It's not really.
No, what I was saying though, quickly, just to finish,
real talk.
Sorry. What I was just saying, is that with the concept of the Diddy thing, I was only saying that me personally, how I look at it as a man, I have to make sure that I don't allow myself, it's because it's in line with what you're saying, I don't allow myself to fall victim and conduct myself how it seems that he's done through the footage and the rumours. And I feel like that could possibly apply to the other side as well, to Cassie. Is there a way that she has made decisions and she's allowed her? I mean, I don't want to be.
She can walk away from the whole thing. She didn't have to get involved.
I don't want to sound like I'm victim blaming. Do you know what I'm saying? But as a man, I believe that Diddy is also a victim. He's allowed himself to become a weak man and make bad decisions, and take it out on the people around him. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like it's more complex than the easy way that people just look at things.
Oh,
this is the
Diddy?
victim. This is the dad.
There are some situations within victimhood where depending on the actions are completely preventable, and we have to look at that as well, because as soon as
it's a hard conversation to have though.
Yeah, and this is one thing.
There are some people that
in society, what we've had,
trapped.
we don't look at what feeds into things, because there is a chain of events that lead to whatever occurs, and there's a certain culpability to the chain, because once you understand there's a chain of events, and this is the issue that we have here, is once it's a chain of events, once you get on at A, you go to Z automatically. That's because it's a chain of events, isn't it? So there's a lot of times what we want to do is break the chain and say, no, it's not a chain of events. I just wanted to get on at point A. I didn't intend to get to this point. Where that's not possible. It goes straight there, and it's the same. This is why I have an issue with sex right now, because sex makes babies, isn't it? But people don't want to necessarily accept that. They're just like, I just want to have a good time. I don't want to have a baby out of it. But unfortunately, there's a straight line between what you're doing and a baby cuts. And unfortunately, what we don't accept is sometimes as soon as you make decision A, you go to point B, and you have to be culpable for making point A. The moment you're in B, it's because you made A, and that's the reason. And because you made A, we're judging you on that, because you know A goes to B. So don't act like you're in B by accident, because you made A. And this is what we're not doing in society. We're acting like you go on A and automatically, I got to B and I didn't even know how I got there, when you're in a chain of events, or you know there's a direct link between two actions. And this is what we're trying to break the chain between. And unfortunately, because we've actually done it, this is why people get to places and they don't know how they got there. Or we don't judge them on how they got there. Do you know what I mean? Because the how is just as important as the why.
This how I know you've been in a dark room for a long time, my brother.
And you see a lot of this actually, and you see when a lot of this happens, guess where the escape is? They run to social media. Right, and by they run to social media now, they run to their regular groups, their regular live chats that they go into. You understand where I'm coming from? And now it's just attention and validation. So they're now being validated by a small group of people that what you did is okay, and that other person should be punished and casted out, or whatever the case is. You understand where I'm coming from?
It's a dream within a dream, like Inception. That's what I say. It's like you're dreaming, and you go into another dream to get what you want.
Yeah, this is why accountability, I think, is very much important.
It's mad. It's mad layers, isn't it?
All right, then, Cole. Let me finish off in the next five minutes. You get me? I just want to ask the guys just the finish up question to this. You get me? It's just simple.
My food was outside. Let me see if he's still here.
Oh shit! Dream, don't say that.
It's still here, you know.
Hey, don't say that.
Hello.
Oh shit!
Mad thing.
I'm coming.
I used to live in Leytonstone, you know.
Okay,
years ago, man, long time, like 2000. I can't remember. 10.
Alright, where's JJ? Where did JJ run with?
Yeah, them times there. Different. It's probably changed a lot now.
Okay, cool. Come true.
Are you still them ends?
Let me ask one little one
way?
question.
Yeah. Say less, man. Say less. Yeah, East London. Because when I had my kids, I had them in West London, innit? So, like, I've been in West London for fucking too long now, man. And like Southwest and shit.
What? Southwest.
Yeah, I live in Kingston now. Innit?
Listen,
much better, bro. Much better, bro.
I told you.
Listen,
I get to sleep at least.
Dream is probably gonna come back in time. So yeah, I'm gonna ask you guys this, right? We're gonna finish up now. I'm gonna ask you guys this, right?
Go on, true.
I want you guys to give me 3 traits, 3 signs, whatever you want to class it as, of...
Well, it's cool.
You
Continue. His battery's gone, but ask the prince to
Alright,
start.
did you switch the camera over there?
No, he's saying the battery's
His
done.
camera is switched off.
No, did you switch that camera over? Did
Yeah,
you?
it's over there.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna start from this side. Basically, what I'm saying, right, is 3 characteristics or 3 traits of what you think a real man is. I understand. And you cannot repeat what the next man said. Yeah? 3 characteristics. Whatever you honestly feel. You understand?
I'll start with responsible, proactive, and protective.
All right. Why is this guy fiddling with the camera, bro?
I'm just gonna do mine at this point.
Why?
It's easier.
Put it over there on JJ.
Okay.
What's the difference between proactive and responsible? Responsible and
Accountable.
protective.
That's not the question, fam.
No, I'm just asking. You picked them 2
Responsible
words.
and protective.
You said yeah.
What's the difference between responsible and protective?
Yeah, I mean it's your answer, innit? So just
Well,
like
how just 3
you just
words, 3 traits,
yeah, you
innit?
picked 3 words, innit? So I'm
There's
just
3 different words and 3 different
yeah.
traits.
Well,
All right, what's your
protective-
3?
Protective is being proactive on your responsibility.
Hey.
It's the 3 words I used.
All
Alright, so my 3. You want me answer?
Yeah.
Bars.
I read. There's another battery.
Joking,
The 3 words.
I mean, you're in food. You're.
Oh, it's over there at Spartan.
What? I heard my name. What's going on?
Hey, here you go. Here you go.
JJ?
Yeah, powerful. Powerful. There's a term I'm going to use. I can't think of the word, but I'll say level-headed. And
Grounded.
yeah,
That's the
but I
word
don't
you
really.
wanna use.
It's not because what I'm trying to explain is discernment. Boom.
Yeah, discerning.
Discerning. Yeah, discerning.
So again, what's your 3?
So first is powerful,
Yeah.
discerning.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking of the right word.
Discernment.
And the last one I would say is visionary.
All right. I'll mess with that.
Yeah.
Big Spartan.
Authority, blood.
Yeah.
Guiding.
Mm.
Godly.
Jesus. All right. Firm star.
Not much left, is this?
Oh, I'm a barist myself, man. Don't worry about that. I doubt you lot will say the words that I will say because we all got a unique way of speaking in it, so it's blessing still. But I would say like a leader,
Yeah.
of high integrity, and you said what? Visionary.
So you're looking for synonyms now?
Nah, I was in a way. Nah. I'd say like resilient is probably the word I would use. Resilient, the probably most important.
Yeah. I would dream. Like I've literally had mine written down for a while, and there's so many, but obviously man has to pick 3, and especially 3 that you guys.
Why are
have
you trying to
chosen
buy
and that's-
time right now, bro?
No, because I'm trying to buy time so he can come back to just cut in before I finish off, innit? Yeah,
Still
because it
buying
would make
time.
sense if you just come to me, I do my thing and just close at one time, innit?
So funny.
Instead of having to,
Yeah, I hear you.
it get me go back round.
So while he's trying to buy time, listen, as a friendly reminder to all of you lot out there being slack, fix up, bruv. Fix up. Go to the gym, bruv. Do something.
Do you know what? Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, what silent needs, yeah, is some comments. We need feedback.
Oh.
We need some likes. We need some subscribers.
Done though.
All of
So
that, all
the
of that.
comments
Done.
and the comments is important because we can bounce off of it and say, right, we're going in the right direction with these
You get
topics.
me?
This is what the people want. We're here to give the people what they need, what they want. Yeah. So the people need to speak up and say, yeah, this is what
Get me?
time it is.
Jump on, get involved, but don't shoot.
We had about 40 comments actually. There were some comments.
Jeez.
I was speaking with them.
Oh,
right.
heavy.
Okay.
Did you put some of them up on screen in that?
I put a few. I put also the question.
That's good. Mine is like wisdom.
There is a question actually. Can you?
Hold up. Mine is like wisdom, respect, and risk.
Risk. Okay.
Hey, what's the question?
Can you lead what you cannot control?
No,
Can you lead what you cannot control?
no.
No. Being a good leader, you also need a decent follower.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you can bring the horse to water, old saying, but you can't make the horse drink. You get me?
And that's where the 50-50 becomes relevant.
Like, come on. I don't deal with 50-50. I deal with things within a 100% scope, because at times somebody is going to do 70, the other person is going to do 30, and vice versa. So we can't ever talk about 50-50, because that don't really exist when it comes to the dynamics of a relationship. I personally believe, but maybe you guys might have a different
Because
take.
it's impossible.
Qualify your followers.
it's impossible.
Let me argue what he done to Daniel's son, bro. You can't just let anyone follow you, cuz.
Come on.
It's impossible to quantify what you do in a relationship and how valuable it is. In terms of the 50-50, I'm talking, you got one leader, one follower. Bruv, they're 50% each of one whole, blood. You ain't a leader if you ain't got no followers.
Yeah, it's true. And for me, how I look at something, the king is supposed to be the highest servant in the land.
The servant of God.
The king is the servant of the people. So the leader spends their whole time. They don't listen, man. I always go back to this
question
scene.
is, does the king serve the people, or the people serve the king?
Well, it's a relationship. It's because
Serve one
because
another
look,
in a way.
I can say I'm a flipping.
I like that.
I can say I'm
like
a
that.
Serving the king,
I can say I'm
sure.
an artist. Yeah, I'm a singer or something. But if there's no fans
gonna
that
use
come
that
to watch
artist
me,
thing.
I'm not an artist. I can say I'm the king. But if no one's in my kingdom worshipping me or whatever, then I'm not a king, am I?
That's true.
There's a two-way relationship there. But what I was saying is about the 300 thing is there was this time when they kicked the man off the cliff, and everyone was celebrating, and Leonidas was just cold, calm, weren't celebrating with no one. They just won a battle within the war. He didn't celebrate nothing. He's thinking about the next thing. That's leadership. He ain't got time. He can't consider partying with it. So a man, a leader, all of the things we spoke about, when he takes his family out to enjoy times, he pops in and says, yeah, man, I got you. But he's thinking about, right, where's the next dinner coming from? How am I going to make sure that I got them? I can't sit back and lick back too much alcohol, because if the door kicks off now, I got to jump up and make sure I'm on job. All of these things have to go through a leader's mind, you know what I'm saying? So, and to be honest, about leading something that you can't control, it's because you have to have that two-way symbiotic relationship. If I'm doing a service, if I'm providing you a service by saying I'm gonna go out and hunt, I'm gonna bring home the proverbial bacon. Because you know what I mean, you know, man, don't deal with them things. But I'm gonna bring home the bacon, yeah. Man, or the Bible says, man gets sweat from his brow and all them things, yeah.
Fine.
So if we're gonna do all of that, yeah, I'm gonna do all of this for you. I'm bringing it back to you, and now what? Bro, look, fam. Bro, if I told you what was said to me the other day, oh, you're gonna do this for man, you know, yeah.
Is man the leader of a society or in
Say by the bell.
relationships?
You say that again?
So the question is actually for you, Femi.
For me?
For the gentleman in the yellow shirt, are men of
Saying
today
yellow.
leaders of relationships, leaders in relationships?
Say that again. Sorry, one more time.
Are men of today leaders in relationships?
And this directed to you. For
Directed at me. Are men of today leaders in relationships? Phew,
Yeah, that was asked to you, my friend.
well, like in general, like it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look that way at all. No, like it's like I think I think like we've spoken about a lot of things. We've spoken about a lot of things that connect to this today. We've spoken about a lot of things that connect to this today. But like more time, like I don't think.
The one comment question got Femi stumbling.
No. But let me land. Let me land. Hold on. Nah. So like no. I answered the question because it's no. Like I don't think it is. Like we've already seen so many examples from our own experiences, from social media, everything. But everybody's always sharing something, especially from a man's point of view, of the state of their relationship or the fact they're not in one because of what it was. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's rare to find like these synchronized, you know, synergetic, you know, types of relationships nowadays. Like and because like from what my man was saying, like we've been conditioned for a long time to steer away from that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like big time. Do you know what I mean? And like I think yeah, like I don't know how it will change, to be honest. Like it's probably gonna get worse.
Me personally, it's based on something that you said. You was talking about how people have been introduced into society, and you made me think of, I can't remember this brother's name. I say brother, this man's name, Edward Sutton. And he's a nephew of Freud. And he's got a whole thing where he sits down and breaks it down. He says, listen, people are complaining that we've got a society where only 50% of the people are taxable right now. So what they did is they started to put money behind the suffragette thing, the women's feminism. They said we always make 3-letter slogans, three syllable, 3-word slogans. One of the most up to date ones is Black Lives Matter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Women's rights movement, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, all of these free. And anyway, so what he said is, we want to try and bring attention to it. He said he paid women to stand in the crowd. And he says, when I tell you he spoke to a psychologist and he said, smoking are penis symbols. Yeah. So he said, right, this is a great concept here, brother. This is what he said. And this is what Dr. Francis Cresswell-Singh said as well. The symbolism of smoking is a chapter on it. In the ISIS papers, if you're interested. I do sell it if you see me on the roads. So anyway, come on, alright, it's a serious book. Anyway, Baby Boy is based on it.
Why not?
So okay, that's what the smoking thing is. So he paid women to stand in the audience and says, when I give the signal, light your cigarettes. Then he paid for the media to come and said, when I give you the signal, start taking pictures. So he gave the signal, he gave them the slogan, the 3-word slogan, and then he got the women to start smoking. And then it drew attention and it boosted up the whole feminism thing. And the whole reason they wanted to do that is obviously cigarettes was big money, but also to get women into the workforce, because 50% of society wasn't able to be taxed at the time. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying the ramifications of that is the classic man's role around that time and possibly before that has become gently diminished. You turn up to a date now and a woman says, are you not going to pay? And you don't ask her what her salary is. She might be making more dough than you. But classically, how she's been trained, how her biology set up, how our biology set up, is that we can do.
I want to add something to this.
Society is not supporting us to fulfill those biological roles anymore.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's kind of ski-whiffed.
It's 50-50 though. It's hold on. Let me just say something really quickly. It's 50-50. It's 50-50, yeah? Because some women are like that, yeah? But there's another side of women, yeah? And a whole bunch of them. Like, that I dated a few of them, I can't lie, over the past couple of years. And I'm telling you something, those women, you'll turn up, they'll ask to check. Literally, she will demand to pay for it. Do you understand? To prove her prowess in that regard. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of women that think like that now. Do you know what I'm saying?
So
not masculine per se, but but what I'm trying to say is they're trying to prove that that masculinity. That they're trying to take that on. Do you get me?
The man.
That's called competition.
Yeah, 100. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of women that think like this now. 100%, and they're not necessarily masculine women. Like, they just have the mentality that they've been hardened. I'll tell you what, a lot of what I found, because a lot of those women that I dated were in their late 30s, so they'd already experienced long relationships.
Yeah.
Probably gone very wrong with the wrong person, etc. And they've developed a view of men now, and that's changed their whole perception of women as well. As a result, so they're basically now trying to fill this gap of, no, I could be more of a man than he can. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
But also, I think I get you, and I feel you, but I always see that situation, and I always think it's my role to bring out the femininity in a woman. Whenever she comes, I remember when I was a youth,
but
man,
some women are so far gone in that.
In my teens, no, it's mad.
How
In
long
my
can you
teens,
bring
I've had
it out
some
in
gangster
further?
gal around me, but when they was around me, they were so soft and I couldn't.
No, that's true.
It was just me nurturing that energy out of them. You feel
I
me?
hear what you're saying, but I'm not talking about like when we're younger. When we're
I hear you, I hear
before you've been affected, when you've been affected and by your experiences like that, trust me, it's almost impossible to come back from that kind of mentality. They end up regretting it later when they become old, and then they're on their own looking around thinking, shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
What you gonna say, Pen?
Sorry, King.
No, I was just gonna say, man, bringing femininity out and all that type of stuff. That's what I was gonna say, bro. Like,
Sorry, King.
I don't understand all of that. I think that as us as men, young men, whatever, grown men, whatever, we have to be masculine all the time. We have to be men. We have no choice to be that. So I don't believe in when it comes to
Actually, we have a choice now.
when it comes into dealing with the other gender now, why they have to be brought out or brought to a certain spot where they can be I don't understand that. So I feel like it's just simply a decision and a understanding of who you're dealing with, and if you're willing to go as far as you are, you'll find out along the way that this is not really working out, or it doesn't feel as if it makes sense here. So I'm gonna get off at this stop. Not that it's anything else. Do you see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So yeah, bro.
I think
I don't believe in this bringing out a feminine, bro. I don't believe in any of that. Because if you're gonna be masculine, you're gonna be masculine all the time. You're gonna be feminine. What? Where?
well,
You see what I'm saying?
You do realise you have a feminine side as well. We all do.
Bro.
You know what it is?
Bro,
That's built into your genes, Brett.
Broski.
Do you understand
I'm
what I'm saying?
talking
I'm not
about-
saying you're like a woman.
No,
Because that's
no,
not
no.
the way to understand it.
No,
you
no,
get
no,
me?
no.
It's
No,
in our makeup.
I was saying
Like,
more to
And
what
most
JJ
of the
was
time,
saying.
let me show you what it is. People act the way they feel about you. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So you see when women run the talk, oh, you need to make me feel feminine, or I'm feminine for the right man. It's basically more times like a feeling how you feel about somebody.
Of course.
You understand? That brings out certain interactions, a certain behavior from that said individual. You
It
understand?
depends
where
how
I'm coming from?
confident somebody is as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people need to be brought to a particular situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like I like the person that I was with for the longest time. Sorry, the person I was with for the longest time. Like when we were younger, before she evolved, because this is the thing, what a lot of people don't realize by the time they get to like 30, 40 in particular, is like we evolve a lot in that time. That 30 to 40 is a big evolution of wisdom and understanding of your life, man. You've kind of had a lot to look back on at that point. And what I'm trying to say is like women in particular, when I met the mother of my children, we were in our early 20s, and the person that I met was cute, funny, calm, but unsure as well, a little insecure at certain things. She went through certain things early in life, do you know what I'm saying, that she still hadn't really got her head round. Like, it takes people a long time to get over certain things. I can attest to that, do you know what I mean? So, but later on now, the person that she is, following our relationship, is a completely different woman. Do you know what I'm saying? She's evolved in her own direction, and not in a bad way, in lot of good ways. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to say, but like I have as well as a man. Do you know what I mean? And in terms of my own understanding of being a man, and one thing I realized about in terms of being a man, like in particular, is when you embrace your feminine side in particular, and I don't mean being feminine, like as in being a woman, because we're not women, we're men. Yeah. But we have attributes that have been passed down from our mum's side. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that, what's it, the Y chromosome? Oh no, the X chromosome that we've got from our mum. Yeah. Like comes with a lot of traits that usually are attributed to women, but we suppress as men because of what we're taught is acceptable in society or what isn't. But the reality is you're going to be very comfortable in yourself if you just allow yourself to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what other people fucking think, I don't give a shit about anybody else's fucking opinion, really, when it comes to my life. I listen to what people have to say in terms of, you know, what they think. Like, any contribution, my ears are open. Do you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we'd have the ability to close our ears, right? We don't have that. So, my ears are always open, right? But at the same time, when it comes to what I tell myself, what we all tell ourselves is really like what matters, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Your voice in your head, that always listening voice, dictates everything. You get me?
Personally, I don't class a man, you know, whether he's in his feelings, so to speak, or whatever, feminine, hit me. I would more say a man who's literally flipped to the other side and acting like a woman. Literally acting like a woman, being a woman. I would call that
fire.
That's
feminine.
That's part of a mental problem, though. Man. Like when you disassociate with your identity, that's what it is.
And in a sense, it's just like women with their emotions. You understand? Sometimes a woman's gonna go through a hard path where she's going to have to get hard, have to get tough. Does that mean she's masculine or showing masculine traits? Because a woman can never be masculine. You understand? And it's the same with a man, but you can pretend to
act. Yes,
you understand?
No,
you can try and embody that, and that's what a lot of people are doing at the moment. They're embodying things that they are not.
So sometimes I think a man need to realize when a woman's sometimes crying out for help. Really, you understand? Like, look at me. You get me? Like, show me that attention. Like, work with me. You get me? I've been burnt so much or whatever the case is. You get me? So all that masculine is just more or less defense mechanism and protection, and I have to go get to do what. You understand? So as I said, and what's been portrayed as on social media, it's masculine and it's easy to influence the masses. You get me? It's easy to influence your followers if most people don't know what a real man is, or what a man should be, or what a real woman should be, or you get me, or don't know what masculinity or femininity is. I just think it's real easy to influence.
But that's
people.
what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, bringing out this and bringing out that, regardless, we have to be men all the time. The other side have to be themselves all the time. And at the end of the day, people are pretending to be things that they are not. That's what I always say. People are pretending to be things that they are not, and their view of themselves are skewed with.
And the how and the why behind that, it's the same thing, and it kind of goes back to the point I was saying before.
Yeah.
In terms of within the construct, what our roles of the man and the woman
have been
completely undefined. So, as a whole, the attributes that we're saying lend ourselves to man and women, because of the environment we're in, there's nothing to really separate the two. We're both capable of the same attributes, and that in itself means that they're interchangeable, and they would be either masculine or feminine. Really, what you probably notice is the most masculine elements of us women are not capable of doing, and the most feminine elements of women, like having a baby, we are not capable of doing. The two are two separate capabilities, but as I say, within just, if you just look at them as attributes in this society, or just be shouting, or a lot of the attributes we're saying have nothing to do with real masculinity. They're just attributes that we've attached to it within the construct of what we've said it now. But because we don't have a purpose, masculinity is attached to your purpose. Do you know what I mean? Really, depending on what's required from you and required from the environment, you will take on a masculine role to do it. In this environment, just earning metric money, there doesn't need to be any masculine or feminine roles to do that. And this is why lots of it have been lost, and we can emulate parts of each other, and that's what's causing the problem.
What about a scenario? Yeah.
Right, hold up. Because we have to wrap up now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we can continue after. Final thoughts. Everybody gets 20 seconds. Final thoughts. On everything we talked about today. You understand? Yeah, we'll start over here this time.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. I think that we just need to do more research on ourselves, more building with ourselves, more time to ourselves, and be honest with one another. And yeah, man, I think social media needs to be used very carefully, and certain conversations, especially within our community, do not need to be had on that application, because it is very detrimental, and over the past however years, 10 years, 8 years, it's not been used very wisely at all to our demise. But yeah.
Based on what we've been talking about, I feel that we are subject. We owe our society and the people around us to always be working on ourselves and to be the best version of ourselves and contribute well to society around us. And we've got a responsibility to guide the future of where we want to go. And it's genuinely going to come down to a battle of wants, or kuji chagalia, if you speak Swahili. It's going to come down to that, a battle of what you want versus what somebody else wants, and being able to share those kind of values and be able to build that. And we ain't got time for the petty squabbling. We have to find people with similar values to us and start building.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you believe in.
First and foremost, I don't know why you looked at me when you spoke Swahili. I don't speak Swahili. Thank you.
You should have looked at me still.
Second, listen, yeah.
Family.
Act like you've got some decorum. Act like you've got some tact. Act like you've got some home training and manners, bruv. My man said, stop having these conversations in front of the enemy, in front of everyone else, airing out your dirty laundry. 1, 2, be a man, go to the gym, work out, do the right thing, go to church, go to the mosque, do your thing. Yeah. 3, obviously, this is a monetary system. Get your money up, bruv. Don't let them wash you out and rub you out like that. Yeah, over what? Some metric money, as my man said, bruv. Don't fall for it. And 4, fix up, bruv.
And you got 20 seconds.
Oh, Ross. That's my 20 fucking seconds, brother. No, I'm joking. Yo, I think as a society, especially us as adults, like, we all have a responsibility to really bring our focus back to the priority, which is children, young people, the future. Like, we can reform this education system as well, collectively. Like, we've got enough people who are interested in politics and root ways into actually making things change. I personally know a lot of people, so I'm personally going to even try and do my bit. You get me? But education is where it starts, man. Like, if we're locked into this system where we have to send our kids to school, we just need to make sure we perfect that part of the system. And it's ancient right now, so it needs reform. Way overdue. Yeah, following on from that, the way I see it is it took generations for us to get here. It didn't happen in one generation. It's going to take generations for us to get out of it, which means none of us are going to see the solution or even see anywhere near it. And I think we're going to have to spread the seeds through conversation and through the children in the same way, where we're going to have to teach them a better model of union and a better model of understanding reality and what's in front of them than what we've got, because what we've inherited generationally is failing us. So we're going to have to create something better to pass on to them, and maybe in a few generations we can start seeing improvements.
Jesus. Listen, I don't even know how I can touch up on all of that, bro, because that man, they laid down fire. Especially Spartan over there, man.
Fix up, bruv. We don't have time. Running out, fam.
You know what it is, man? I sound like the vegan Uncle Eddie, blood.
No, do you know when
wake
first
the
time you
fuck
started
up.
speaking like that, I thought exactly what was crazy. I was like, you watched it
Too much, man.
Yeah, me.
Wake the fuck up.
But yeah, people, the information that you heard here today, it's not for you to take it into yourself, get triggered, get all emotional. It's for you to weigh up your options. If it benefits you, take it on board. Try see if you can, you know, maybe make a change in your life that benefit you or people around you going forward. If it don't apply to you, wash it up and dash it away. It's just as simple as that. You understand? And when we bring too much feelings into having these type of conversations, this is where conversations break down and we don't actually hear the message and we don't actually get to move forward and progress. You understand? So try and think of things a lot more logically, you know, even though it takes 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever the case is, and try and, you know, work on self-control. Like it takes time. It does take time, self-control to work on, you know, because you have to unravel a lot of these programmings, right? And people, you know what time it is.
I'm just a messenger.
Just a messenger. Don't shoot. Silent business. See you next Sunday, people.
We're not going to talk about Donovan Sharp then.
We can probably do that next.